Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back here for an exclusive first ever RHAP Survivor podcaster draft. We've done it for Big Brother season after season, and this is the first time we're doing it for real for Survivor 41, which premieres this Wednesday night. And we've got a great team of RHAP podcasters here tonight to draft for the winner with a few twists of Survivor 41. Let's say hello to the panel here on a Sunday night. No Big Brother, so we know that this guy is free. It is the great Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
Doing very well, Rob. I was looking at the visual for this podcast, and I was thinking it looks a lot like, well, now it doesn't, but it looks a lot like I was trying to find the Brady Bunch, but all I could come up with is the Addams Family, and I think both apply.
Okay, Addams Family 2 coming out soon, I believe. So
there you go.
What, we're like a creepy family.
Cookies. There's just a lot of faces on the screen right now. It's overwhelming. But we're here for the super draft, and we're gonna have fun with it.
Yes, we should have a lot of fun. Taran, how are you holding up in the BB draft?
I think I'm out of the BB draft.
Okay. All right. Look, it's not easy.
How are you holding up, Rob?
All in for Azza.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be Tiffany that was going to win me the draft, but I had my backup plan the whole time of all in for an Azza win.
Look, you planned it. You called it from the start. You called that shot, and it's all been according to plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Very excited to have here with us from the Married at First Sight RHAP Up. It's Aysha Welch. Aysha, how are you?
Hey, Rob. I'm doing wonderful. I spent the weekend drinking so much wine in Fredericksburg, Texas. And so I'm very glad to be here with all you amazing podcasters. Mm-hmm. It's just a great, ending to a weekend.
Aysha, this sounds a little bit like a built-in excuse of I just want to let everybody know I've been drinking all weekend. So if I don't draft well.
Right. I may or may not have caught up on all the podcasts in preparation for this while drinking wine.
Okay.
So
that is the best way to consume the podcast.
Exactly.
Yes.
Fair.
Drinking it? Yeah, that's right. Drink it all in. 2x, and it'll make a lot more sense. Yeah.
Wine is nature's 2x speed.
Yes.
Is it? I feel like that it's more of like a 0.5x.
It's all relevant.
Other substances
could go either way.
5x. Yeah. Everything else seems 2x.
I think crystal meth is nature's 2x.
So glad we figured that out.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. Okay. I'm glad we established that. All right. Here with us as well tonight, of course, everybody loves hearing from the great Chappell. Chappell, how are you?
Well, I'm not drunk like Aysha, but I am here. I did not put a lot of, effort into looking at this cast. So, I'm not saying I didn't see the cast before today, but, I'm here to learn while doing, so this is going to be fun. I'm glad I get to experience this with you all.
Okay. Great to have you here. And even though we're only 4 minutes into this podcast, I'm closing into my 7th hour this week with Chappell and this woman on a podcast, of course, coming off of a very a huge run of the finales of Survivor, Australian Survivor, Survivor South Africa, the all-time longest podcast in the history of RHAP.
Yes.
The great Shannon Guss. Shannon, how are you?
I'm good, Rob. I want you to introduce me and Chappell with that every time we're on a podcast with you. All-time longest. That would have made it worth it for sure.
Yes.
Sure. If that's what you want. I'm happy to do that for you. Yeah.
I'm glad.
You have to say the whole thing every time. All time. Great longest podcast to Chappell and Shannon every time.
Yes. Put it as one of your many titles. Shannon, how are you holding up after your busy week?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm not drunk, but I do feel a little bit hungover from Survivor. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. I mean, it hurts my soul when people are like, Survivor is back. I'm like, Survivor is back. Like, this is my 4th season covered this year, and it's been a lot. Very enjoyable, though. I'm excited to get into this cast. It's really fun, and I'm here to win my RHAP merch store gift certificate.
You got it. You got it.
If I just put it out there, then you can't say no.
All right. If this draft runs late, this guy might miss some 90 Day Fiance tonight. Of course, you know him from 90 Day Fiance RHAP Up, The Masked Singer RHAP Up, all of the Pooya Fridays, a big Among Us game today. It's Pooya Zambakili. Pooya, how are you?
I'm doing really well, Rob. And to anyone who's like, "Wait, it's too much blue. The lights are blue. Your hat, your shirt." I'm wearing the same shirt I wore at the last draft because I blew everyone out the water that draft. I'm going to win that draft. I'm here to make it number 2 in the same year. Hello.
Boy,
Are you Russell Hansing us right now?
If I lose both, I will never show back up again. I am leaving. I'm moving away.
Yeah.
Burn the hat.
I don't even like that little blue hat.
Okay. Pooya, how's everything else going?
Everything's good, man. I'm doing well. I'm excited. I'm feeling high energy. I've had a lot of coffees today, so I'm running smooth. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
Wow, everyone's coming in at a very different and strange speed, which I enjoy.
Okay, and then of course, that we're very excited for a all new season of the Survivor B&B around the corner. Of course, you could hear her on the Masked Singer RHAP Up, the Drag Race RHAP Up. It is the great Liana Boraas. Liana, how are you?
Doing fabulous. Thank you so much for including me on this. I am still a little stuck on the whole Addams family of it all. I'm trying to put us in different categories. I'm like, who's Lurch? Who's Uncle Fester? Can I call Morticia? Is that allowed? So I think Mike and I will have to dig into that on the B&B.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, anything goes. That's the fun part.
As cousin I would like to abstain from whatever y'all about to do on the B&B.
Claim who you want now, because Mike and I will take that into account.
I feel like mine speaks for itself. I've been called Morticia before, and it wasn't as a compliment.
All right. We've got a draft coming up. I will not be drafting. I will be moderating. We will have 6 drafters here tonight for our 18-person cast. Each person will be picking 3 people. Our rules that we decided, we are drafting for winner take all. Look, you're looking for the winner of the season with one small twist. If you draft the person that is the first boot of the season, that's the grenade, and you are disqualified from the draft.
Not the grenade.
Even if you have the winner.
Who invited the brigade to this draft?
Grenade. The grenade. And if in that case, the second place finisher will be the winner of this draft.
Wow.
It's a Rob bomb.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. My
Thanks.
goal in this draft is to finish in second place and also win. I mean, that is the dream.
Narrow path.
Second place and get the first boot. Okay. So that's what we are playing for here tonight. I had suggested also that the winner gets a cameo from any player on their team. The panel seemed to reject that idea. No.
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor. I'm in favor too. I'm with Liana.
Wait,
Yeah.
what if they don't go on Cameo? Can you imagine?
I mean, come on.
Can you imagine if they did it?
What a silly thing to say.
Oh, Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's what we're playing for here tonight. Of course, this is not the only Survivor preview podcast that we will put up this weekend, because on Friday I dropped the Issa Look podcast with Bryce Isaiah. Bryce and I went through this entire cast. Bryce laid eyes on them for the first time and told us how they're going to do just based on their cast photo. Always a lot of fun. And then the first lady of podcasting, Nicole Cesternino, and I went through it all last night as well. That podcast is also up at robinsawebsite.com. So plenty of Survivor previews. Plus, Liana, is the B&B Survivor previews up?
I think so.
Yes.
So you can check that out. Mike and I did a preview of the cast, gave out some superlatives. So I recommend checking that out. It was a really, really, really fun, stupidly fun time.
Okay, not to mention a YX Lost preview of Survivor 41, all up at robhasawebsite.com. Okay. All right, we have a draft order that we're going to get into. So it's going to be a snake draft for rounds 1 and 2. Followed by then we will then again reverse the original order in round number 3. So I know that sounds a little confusing. You'll see when we get there. But basically, if you pick first, you'll also pick 12th, and then you get the final pick in the draft at number 18. Basically, you'll pick first, but you also get whoever is left over when you are the first pick. So we have a draft order. I'm going to arrange the panel by the draft order. Okay. Let me start off with, do we want to go from the bottom up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Coming in and drafting 6th. They will draft 6th, 7th, and 13th. It is Liana.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
I'm cool with that.
Doesn't
I'm cool with
need
that.
kind of power. I demand a recap. Who
We
did
knew
this,
Sam was gonna rig it. Yeah.
I knew it.
Karen, we talked
Wow,
about this.
Sam.
Remember we talked about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Conveniently, he didn't do this randomizer on screen. He took it
Yes.
off deliberately.
Probably.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird.
This
I
will
agree.
look very
All right.
sketchy if the order is exactly how we are looking right now. on camera.
Yes.
All
That's what
right.
I want.
All right, here we go. Drafting 5th. They will have the 5th pick. They will have the 8th pick. And they will have also then the 14th pick. It is going to be Asia.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Nice.
That's
Not-
great.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Pooya, I will
All right.
walk out of here.
Then, all right, the 4th pick overall is going to go to Pooya.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Bottom row's
Hello.
got it. Let's
Oh,
go.
boy.
Okay. The 3rd pick overall is going to be
Oh no.
Taran.
what is? Stop it! This is horrendous. This is horrendous.
Man, we gave 7 hours of our life to this
7 hours
podcast.
of freaking life.
Okay.
This week. We are
And
the record holders. No, Rob. We are the record holders.
This is
for the longest
disrespect.
podcast. This is
Mhm.
disrespectful.
the 2nd pick goes to Shannon.
Okay.
Well, number
love
1
Shannon
overall.
Immediately abandons
Number 1 pick.
Chappell. Okay,
All right.
no, okay. As long as he's first.
Yeah. You're on your own, Chappell. I mean, it's still not great for me. I don't feel good about this. Like, I feel like there are a lot of really good picks. So being in like Liana's spot where you get a bunch of middle picks, like you'll get 3 great picks. But like considering especially first boot is a grenade, you don't want some of those like last picks.
Mm-hmm.
This might be hot
literally get
potato here for
the
Chappell.
last pick. The last pick.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Chappelle, you make 2 picks. The rest
Yeah.
of us pick your 3rd pick. That's how it goes.
yeah, I don't get to pick. The
And
last
that's
pick.
okay.
I mean,
Because-
that assumes. Hold on, but Chappelle, just relax, because that assumes that everybody else nails it, and that the person who
these
ends up
who's on
being
the
last
panel,
happens to be
these
the
ain't-
worst.
These ain't no
Uh,
normal
like, think-
panelists. This is some professional stuff, Rob.
You
ain't
can walk
coming
out,
here with the
Chappelle.
scrubs. That's
Get up.
Liana going 6th. Okay, that's Liana. That ain't. There's a Liana on this cast. You think that's a coincidence? What's up, Taran?
We on the for example, the Big Brother draft. We had a last pick in the Big Brother draft. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to pick somebody. We had Frenchie as the last pick in the Big Brother draft. We know how successful Frenchie was in
Wasn't
the game.
even the first boot.
Exactly.
I will come
We had
over
the
there.
whole
Taran,
weekend
do not-
to-
He
Taran,
won
do not
immunity,
make me
and
come
then-
over.
and then he couldn't be the first
Taran,
boot.
Darren, don't make
No.
me come over there. I don't.
You
Shannon,
can't
move.
reach me. Shannon's in the
Shannon-
way.
Shannon,
Mhm.
Shannon, move out the way.
Okay.
It's fine.
Get
It's
it.
fine. You know what? I'm gonna bank on the rest of y'all being incompetent, and so one of y'all is gonna screw up. I know it, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
hope for that. So here we go. I'm okay. I'm hype. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So, with that being said, Chappelle, are you ready to give us your first pick
No.
overall?
No, I don't even know these people's names. Okay, let me see.
Well, you can't go wrong now.
Well, yes,
This
you
actually has
can.
worked out well for
Sure, I
me.
guess you could.
Chappelle just
All
showed
right,
up to
all right.
English class without actually having read the book, but now he has to start.
Chappelle, it's like you've been in my English classes before. Okay. All right. All right. So I do have a couple that I'm like, okay, I definitely don't want to pick them first, but I'm trying to decide who I
Don't
think
worry,
is,
they'll
like,
fall
least-
to you.
Yeah,
eventually.
see, my issue is that like I want to pick the person who's least likely to get the bomb, right? I don't care about winning because that's going to be very hard for me to do with my late picks. So I'm like, as long as I don't use like my only good pick on the first boot, I think I will be able to live with what happens after that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many people on here that this is such a great cast, Rob, by the way. But like seriously, there's so many people on here who have great stories and sound like well-rounded and super smart. Oh my gosh. But I just feel like there's no world where Rickard goes first. And so I'm thinking that I want to go with Rickard here.
Okay. Let's lock it in. Rickard ends up being the first player taken overall by Chappell. Chappell, do you want to talk it through? Why Rickard?
Yeah, he's about 30 years old, right? So like I feel like that's a good age range where he's had a lot of living experience where he's like, okay, I can speak to everybody. He's not super old where it's like, oh, it's the old guy. It also like he seems really nice from what I can tell by this little short bio that I'm reading. He talks about trials and tribulations. He looks fit. And so I'm like, okay, if I was on trial with him, would I want him to go first? Probably not. Just at first glance. It's also a flight attendant. We've seen flight attendants do well in this game in the past. So that's what I'm going with.
Okay. Curious to know from the panel. Anybody feel like that Chappell nailed the first pick?
Yeah, I like Rickard. He was definitely a top pick for me. I feel like like Chappell said, good age for this cast, which is honestly pretty important. And I feel like he's well spoken. He seems to know the game, and it seems like there's very few like open flaws that you can see with Rickard. And I love that he said he wanted to play like Aubrey but win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we are.
My moment of pause, I was listening to his interview with you and Mike right before we started, and I feel like he has troubles in the outdoors was maybe like my one thing, and I just feel like on tiny little tribes where this is going to be like the hardest season ever, that could be an early boot issue, but that would be like my only red flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that overall, he just seems like that he has so much going for him. I really like the pick at number 1 overall, Chappell. I feel like that he's somebody that he's got everything going for him, but not like so much that you say, oh my God, obvious target, obvious threat that you have to get rid of. So he's got everything that you would want in a Survivor contestant, but not too much of anything where you feel like that he is like in danger of being picked off super early because everybody sees it.
Yeah, he doesn't look jacked to where you're like, oh gosh, that's the guy who we got to get out of here. But he also looks fit. It's a smaller tribe format, so I'm thinking that you're gonna want to keep your strength. We see that all the time. But when there's only 6 people to choose from, it's like, okay, do we really weaken ourselves by getting rid of somebody like him? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping that he's not the first boot because I put all my chips on him basically. Everything else is just kind of like I'll get the scraps of what you guys don't want. So it's Team Rickard for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a first boot. I think he actually has a lot of winner potential. The fact that he's a flight attendant is a big deal, and I think the UA tribe that he's on,
UA?
he looks
Yeah.
UA looks pretty strong. So I think you'll be all right with him not being the first boot. I think it's a great pick.
Okay. All right. Anybody really feel like Chappell blew the first pick?
Come on, Asia.
No, I don't. He was definitely one of my top picks. Not number 1, but that's your prerogative. I don't think your reasoning is sound. Like I don't think he'll be first out. He seems likable enough, and his tribe seems like a tribe that he can get along with. So I think he'll do fine for like the first little bit. But it'll be interesting to see because like one of the things that stood out to me in his bio's pet peeves is he hates being ignored when he's asked a question. And there can be a lot of people on that island, especially come, merge time. So if there's like a group setting and someone's just socializing, who knows what can happen. So,
okay. So the Great Liv has our leaderboard here tonight. And we see Chappell has Rickard at 1-1 here in the draft. All right. So that'll bring us to the second pick overall here in the first round. Shannon Guss.
So much pressure. When is my next pick?
So you will pick now, and then you will pick again at 11th overall.
Can I just like get up and leave for like the long amount of time, which I'm not picking?
That if you could just mute and then get up and leave. Don't turn your camera off.
Fair enough. I don't know. I'm struggling. I do think that whoever gets grenaded should have some sort of dare they have to do or something negative. Like maybe they have to purchase the cameo.
For example.
Yeah, like they should have to purchase the cameo for the winner. Now, like put their money where their mouth is. Or like have to pick something embarrassing.
The last pick, Shannon. Y'all pick that person for me. Matter of fact, if I get the grenade and it's the last pick, y'all should have to buy me the cameo.
I mean, if the last pick is the grenade and it's first boot, we should all win something because that would be like impeccable drafting.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
We all get gift certificates to the merch store.
Are y'all okay with that? Are y'all okay with that?
What is it?
The last pick, if the last person on the board, so my pick, my final pick, if that is the grenade, that means we all did a great job of drafting, and I should not have to get disqualified. I should get whatever.
No, that's not what I said.
Exactly what she said, word for word.
Yeah.
We would get gift certificates. You would be grenaded.
You had all 17 picks to try to coerce the other drafters to take the grenade.
Oh, I can heckle.
Yeah, you had you
mission?
You have this whole draft to influence the other drafter.
That's all you had to say, baby. That's all you had to say. Go on, Shannon. Who you about to pick?
Yeah,
it's a psychological game. I'm so torn.
No, you're not torn. Pick the grenade.
I'm not gonna pick the grenade with my second pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm definitely not. Stop it, Chappell. Look, it's been 7 hours, 20 minutes into the podcast. Look. I've got a few top picks, like to give my overall strategy, like a villain in a movie who just lays out their whole strategy for some reason. I feel like I'm very high on athleticism, right? Because it's small tribes.
Monster.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like all the stuff about being too threatening, I don't think matters as much. Like it's 26 days. The last time that there was no pure rounds and 18 people in a cast, Ben won. Like this is like you can beast mode out and win. I feel so. A lot of my hype
actually did not do so great.
Yeah, assuming you live, you can win. That's what I'm trying to say. So I feel like I'm torn between my winner pick and like what I feel should be like consensus winner pick, and I don't know. Chappell, choose for me.
No,
choose. Who should I do? My winner pick or what should I feel should be consensus winner pick?
Oh, I thought you wanted me to pick the person who.
No, I've got two options in mind. I don't know.
I think you should pick your winner pick because I think you'll feel better about it if it's your pick. If you say like I thought that was like the consensus, then if it flops, you'll be like, oh, I knew I should have went with my personal pick.
But the consensus is great for a reason. Like,
you decided that it was the consensus. By the way, you haven't asked us.
No, I feel good about it. Look, I'm gonna go with my winner pick. I guess I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Danny.
Okay,
Danny McRae.
All right. Talk that through, Shannon.
I'm already regretting it. Can I go back? No. I don't know if he was gonna.
Yeah, Shannon. Why did you pick the grenade, Shannon?
No, he'll definitely not be the grenade. He's like an NFL player on a tiny tribe. That would be the worst move ever by everyone.
So here's Danny.
I feel like he's 33, good age. He's an expectant dad, I think, is it, or a new dad? Which is like a good mold of what it takes to win. Like get to the end, be super strong. Tell everyone about your family story. I've heard that before. He said he wants to play like Ben, which is the ideal way to play this structured season. No pure rounds, like be super athletic, win out a bunch at the end, be really, really helpful and necessary on consistently small tribes. He's a threat, but I don't think it hugely matters in this format. And he is my winner pick. But there was another really good pick. But I feel like all my other picks are very young. And that's like my one.
You have another pick coming up at number 11 overall.
Yeah. None of my like top 5 are falling to that. I feel like they're all very conventional. So
okay. So now Danny, former NFL player, former Dallas Cowboy. Aysha, do you have a Danny McRae jersey?
Unfortunately, I do not have a Danny McRae jersey. But I get all your points, Shannon, but I would be afraid that people would do something that's not in their best interest and get out the big guy because they're like, we only have so much time. And so we want to get out the physical threat because we know there's going to be a time when we have to compete against him. So that makes me a little scared. But yes, I do have that bias towards him because the Cowboys have my heart.
Was he a good football player? Like, I probably should have researched that before. He wasn't good. Was he good?
I mean,
he was fine.
You can't be a bad football player and make it to the NFL.
Right.
In a vacuum, he's an incredible football player. But that he's probably not a star football player.
That's fine. Fine. He's a star on Survivor in terms of football players. And look, when they try to get rid of him, he has the early game sewn up, not getting rid of him like super, super early, has time to find idols, hopefully get to a point where he could be winning individual challenges. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
I'm back. I feel good about it.
All right. Is there anybody on the panel who doesn't feel great about Danny? Pooya.
Yeah, I have reservations. In his pet peeves, he has lying and having to repeat himself 3 times. I'm like, bro, that's all you're gonna have is being lied to and repeating yourself. Like, welcome to Survivor. And then, my favorite thing he's done though is EW's been putting out these videos asking them random stuff. So they asked them to make a major prediction on the season, and everyone's being so positive, like, oh, I think this is gonna happen. Oh, maybe the fire tokens. There's a little bit some more to that. Maybe this is the tribe division. And then they cut to Danny, and it's 3 seconds, and all he blurts out is 2 people will quit the game, and then they move immediately to the next guy. Like, I was like, that's some pessimistic energy, but yeah, he's okay. But second overall is a lot.
If I had I would have maybe waited because I knew he wouldn't have gone super high. I might have waited had I had pick 6, but I just didn't feel by the time I get to pick 80 or whatever my next pick is, I felt like he'd be gone.
Pick 6s in his NFL career?
I don't know his stats, but I mean, he was, if nothing else, he's a very hard worker. And so I think you should be very happy about that. I do think that there's might be a little flaw in his his thought process coming into the game is that he wants to change the perception of what a threat is.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to do when you're a threat, right? When you look like a threat, that's like Christian was that was what he's trying to tell us on David versus Goliath. I'm the threat, but I don't want people to realize I'm a threat. Well, you are the threat, and he very much looks like a threat. And so you might have a tough time, but I don't think you have the bomb. I don't think he'll go first, so we'll see, Shannon, but I don't think it's a bad pick.
Chappell, if we pick the bomb with the first 2 picks, they should just kick us out of RHAP. That would be horrendous.
Yeah, let's just
we won't kick
our
you out if you
things.
pick the first group.
You sure, Rob?
Why would we cut off our nose to spite our face?
Yeah, let's raise the stakes, Rob.
Yeah.
If I pick the first boot, you firing me again?
Let me think about it. Let me think about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll sit on it.
All right. Let's go to the 3rd pick overall, and that's Taran.
That's me. First of all, I'm not afraid of a grenade. I'm not gonna play with my fear.
Don't play scared.
I'm gonna pick whether or not I think this person could be a first boot. I don't care about a grenade. I'm going for.
But Taran, they're about to. If you get the grenade, they will overlay what you just said in an edited video of you now getting the grenade. Why would you?
Exactly. And then who are they talking about?
And then, Ben.
Viral, baby.
So I'm not afraid of a grenade, but I am torn between 2 people here. There's one person that I really like, and there's another person that I like and think could do well. But yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Maybe this is the grenade. Maybe it's not the grenade. But I like her. I want to go with Erica.
Erica.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes. Spicy.
Taran, talk us through Erica, one of our 2 Canadian players this season.
Canadian. She's short. She wants to be underestimated. And she doesn't like men in ill-fitting jeans.
Okay, so
be
which
honest,
of those
is the line that
things
made
really
me pick
stood
her
out
first.
to you?
Genuinely, that pet peeve. I like her. I just feel like she's got a fun personality. I think she's going to be fun on the show. Maybe being 5 feet is not the best place to start on a 6-person tribe. I did maybe learn that it was 6 people tribes when I started doing this podcast. So that may, contributed. But you know what? I went with it anyway. I like her. I think she can do well. And I'm excited to see how she performs.
Okay. I'm curious to know from the panel, was anybody else particularly high on Erica?
Yes, I really like her. I loved in her interview that she did with Mike that she talked about the fact that during quarantine, she did a self-assessment. And I think the strongest players in Survivor are those who know how to take advantage of their own natural strengths and skill set. So for me, I love the pick. I'm here for it. I think it's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that she says that people don't believe she's 5 feet only because she gives off 5'3" energy.
Mhm.
Sounds like I want to know the comparison to like
Big
what's
Erica
5.
energy.
Yeah. What's 5'5" energy? Like what would she need a little bit more of to get to like 5'4", maybe potentially 5'7"?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, she's coming in with a very positive outlook. I think she's going to bring a lot of energy to her tribe into the season. Does anybody feel like that Erica is a grenade candidate or somebody that shouldn't have gone this high?
the
I
only
definitely think she is.
yeah. I only think so because of her initial tribe and her being on the same tribe as Danny McCray, because he
Mhm.
is so competitive. I could see him leading the charge if they do end up losing because of some reason or another that, she's the cause.
Well, in terms of Danny, I feel like that he said that he is really looking at schemers and like the puzzle people. I feel like he said in his interviews, and I'm not sure necessarily if she gives off that vibe in terms of that she's very sneaky and going to be a big strategist.
I mean, Taran said he wasn't scared of the grenade, which is his prerogative.
Scared of the grenade.
Okay.
It just means that what was the punishment? Whatever that is will happen to him.
He's been fired. You didn't hear?
Yeah, he'll get
The
fired.
worst that can happen is that I lose, but if I don't play to win, I'm going to lose anyway.
Mhm.
No,
Amen.
it's bad to lose, and it's bad to outright lose. That's the strategy of why you don't want to get grenaded. I just feel like for me, with my first picks, I would have been picking any like hyper physical like national champion athlete, of which there is many on this class. They're definitely not going to be the grenade.
Mhm.
Oh, Shannon. Okay.
It's not the same as like a current college athlete, and I don't want to have to describe the difference, but I just feel like, yeah.
What kind of draft would this be if we just picked all the that would be so boring.
Well, that was
We're
how
not
I was
just gonna
coming in
pick
with
all
my
the athletic
strategy.
people.
That's what I was doing. That's my okay.
I think the Erica pick is fun because she looks like somebody you could be happy for her when she wins. She did it, and so I think if nothing else, you can ride with the pick and be like, if she wins it, you'll feel good about it. So I like it.
Yeah, like if I win this draft.
Yeah.
I'd be so happy.
We all would be so happy.
All right. Let's go to the 4th pick overall. That is Pooya. Pooya, who you got?
Yo, let me explain what's going on in my head right now.
Okay.
So I'm kind of bricking it because the person I think I want is still on the board. But also, I can't pick that person.
Oh.
Yeah, that person's not available. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid. I'll explain later. I'm ripping the Band-Aid. I'm going with Deshaun. I'm going with Deshaun 4th pick overall. That's who I'm going with.
Okay.
That's who I'm going with.
Here comes Deshaun. All right, Pooya. Why Deshaun?
I enjoy Deshaun. Really, all I have to say about Deshaun is I've enjoyed listening to him. I've enjoyed reading his bio. The first day the cast came out, everything I read from him, I was liking. Now, do I think Deshaun might be a little bit higher on himself and believe that he's going to give us a version of who he is and then give the audience a version of who he is? Yes, I do think so. But I just, there's something about him. I like him. I think he's going to be able to do decently. And I do not think he's going to be the grenade, which is a plus. And I think he's not outside of being available to win here. It'll all come down to what his vibe is with other people on his tribe to start. And then we'll see where he goes from there. I think he's got a lot going for him.
Okay. All right. I like Deshaun as well. I'm interested to know what the panel thinks of D-Rad.
Deshaun was the person I was considering if I hadn't gone with Eric. I felt like he was the safer play. It's less likely to be the grenade. Still with a great shot here. I will say I did appreciate that. In his bio, he talked about how he is somebody that conceals his emotions. That he's actually a lot more vulnerable than people would ever realize because he never tells people about it. And that being the first thing that he told me about himself was an interesting way of describing himself.
He's all about San Bernardino. So
Love San Bernardino.
Love San Bernardino. As someone who went to school right next to San Bernardino, still in LA County, so you know what? I like it, support it. He was at the top of my draft board. I think one thing that really stood out to me about him also was the fact that he said that he studied a lot of medicine, and this is an opportunity for him to learn other stuff. So, I know Survivor likes the people who are there to sort of learn. I would hope that maybe he would come in with, but I also kind of at least know what I'm doing. But I'm hoping that medical training maybe will transfer into the Survivor game as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a really good pick. I do. I think he said he's empathetic, outgoing, and physical. I'm like, that's 3 really good traits, especially physical, because that's what the season's about to me. He's obviously clearly really smart. He's a medical student. My concerns were just that he hates being told what to do. And I was like he seems to really hate that. And early on, he might be told what to do. And then, when I listened to his interview, because I did this and then I was listening to his interview, and he was just really tied to being the villain in confessionals and being 2 different types of people. It's why are you making the game harder than it is? Just play Survivor. It's already really hard. So but I think that might go. I think people say a lot preseason. They're I'm going to do it, and then he'll just maybe just be himself, and he seems nice and likable. So good pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's my concern too, because he says his game is going to be unprecedented. And I think that he's going to focus, even though he's saying that now he wants to play 2 different types of game, I think he's going to stick to that, no matter what, even if naturally it feels no, I shouldn't be doing this. I think he's going to be trying to do the most and actually try to do that. And then he could get in trouble for it and could be first out. Who knows? So that's what makes me nervous about him overall. Otherwise, he looks like a great guy.
Yeah, Pooya, I think that's pretty grenade proof. I feel like that. I don't see the scenario where he's the first boot.
Okay, I'll take it. I'm happy with that.
Cut
And
the
I'm
Wednesday
excited
night.
for my team. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody low on Deshaun?
I'm not low on him, but I think that there's some red flags there, especially with him wanting to be a villain in the confessionals and stuff. Because that stuff, we've seen that it seeps over into real life. There's only so much cutting stuff you can say before people start to realize that you think that way about them. So I'm hoping that doesn't kind of get in the way. But otherwise, no, this is not your first boot. So this is a great pick, Pooya.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
He's going to go by #DeviousDRAD. So personally a red flag, but overall, I like it.
Right. Don't love that.
Marketing, branding, it's important. So I guess I can't be too upset about it.
Okay. All right. So Devious DRAD locked in for Pooya at number 4. All right, Asia, it's off to you for pick number 5, and then Liana for 2 in a row.
That's a little scary. Because, and then I have that's my team working with me to try to decide.
It's like the Price is Right. They're trying to give you the pick.
Tell me what I should do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so torn because I have my number 1 pick, but then I think if I wait until the next go round, that person's not going to be available.
Again, in 2 picks.
In 2 picks, and you're complaining. Chappell and I are sitting here.
Yeah. Well, Asia, it's just you have to think. Does Liana want your pick? That's the
just
question.
Liana.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You
such
could just
a good
ask her.
point. Do you want my pick, Liana?
Can you trust Liana? Just ask her straight up. Hey, you want to pick this person?
This is who I want. Do you want them?
Look in my eyes and tell me you don't want my number 1.
Of course not. Of course not.
Okay. Then I'm going to trust that. So I'm gonna pick the pick that I think you won't pick. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna just go with my number 1. Okay. I'm gonna go with Nasir.
Nasir.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'm jealous.
All right. Asia, tell us about why you want Nasir.
Okay, so he's 37. So right there in middle ground with this cast. He's from his hometown in Sri Lanka. He is originally from, or he currently lives in California. He's authentic, outgoing, hardworking. He's smart. He seems very likable. He wants to be a provider for the tribe. He's hardworking. I just got great vibes with his interview that you did with him and Mike Bloom did. He just seemed like someone who's going to come off very sincere, very genuine. I think it's going to be very hard not to like him. So I don't think he's going to go home first, but I also think he has a very good chance of going all the way to the end. So that's why I picked Naseer.
Naseer gave us a great moment in the interviews that we did with Mike, where he talked about his all-time favorite Survivor moment. I highly recommend, if you haven't listened to that podcast with Mike from that Naseer speaks to us, that was a great one. Naseer, very, very friendly. It seems like that he's going to be very fun and gregarious on his tribe, and certainly a hard worker. Did anybody else feel very highly about Naseer? Chappell.
Listen, Survivor is this man's first language. He learned Survivor, second language. He learned it before he learned English. So, come on, he speaks fluent Survivor. It'd just be I don't know about his strengths in the game, but I will say this. This is the story you want to tell, right? This is the story Jeff is dying to tell. Somebody who literally learned English like me and I'm Survivor. He won the game. This is a good pick. As at least again, something you can feel good about, when they win. So I like the guy. He seems nice.
He's so positive and so peppy and just so happy. And I think that aura, that presence, although in so many interviews it was described as, well, that's going to rub my tribe mates the wrong way. No, I don't think so. I think it's a benefit. And so having that type of just natural personality, I think will be a benefit to him.
But would you have picked him?
Yeah.
Too happy. Exactly. I mean, right?
One of my concerns with Naseer, I was worried a little bit about just in terms of strategy and cutthroatness from Naseer. Did anybody else have a concern about that?
Yeah,
No.
I was a little concerned. I mean, he was asked about which survivors he identifies with the most, and one of his top picks is Philip Shepard. Which he thought that Philip Shepard did a great job. And he really appreciated that Philip Shepard stumped for Boston Rob on the jury. Which
I don't really think was a accurate representation of the events of Survivor Redemption Island.
Yeah. It's I mean, that was a little bit of I guess strategic red flag for me.
I guess he didn't say he would play like Philip and win, though. So that was the problem, right? Taran,
oh, yeah. I mean, if he had said, I will play like Philip Shepard, but win, I would have been like, okay, I see.
I'm in on him.
I think that everybody was on board with if Philip Shepard had come out in the jury in the final speeches and been like, it was all an act, that would have been amazing. So
I just think anyone that can be that high on Brett LaBelle's butt, that is your favorite moment in Survivor history. And not only that it's his favorite moment in Survivor history, and he's picked up the show a couple of seasons. He's only seen Millennials versus Gen X. He learned English through Survivor. And that's his top moment. I mean, that's incredible to me. So he's there to have fun.
Yeah,
he's there to laugh at some butts.
His favorite moment was Jeff's call of the moment, more so than that there was a butt on Survivor. He just thought that Jeff nailed the call of the appearance of Brett's butt in Survivor.
Brett LaBelle's shiny white pale ass on the beach. Wasn't it something like that?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Sun, I believe was the quote. Yeah.
Yeah. He learned English to understand Jeff saying glistening white butt or whatever he said. And was it worth it?
I mean, Duolingo won't teach you those phrases, Shannon.
Exactly.
I can assure you it does not.
That's the way to do it.
Memorable. You could ask a million people their favorite moment, and half of them will say Eric giving up immunity, and then half of them will say something else. But this is, I think, the one person you'll ever find.
This was an original.
Yeah. And I loved that.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
I really did.
He's an unprecedented player. So
Yeah, no, I think this was a good pick. I mean, for me, on a personal, he's up there. Like, I like him a lot. You know, he's our one guy who's brown and from Asia, and he's Sri Lankan, and I love that. And he's like, he didn't discover electricity till like way later, which, like, you know, I think he's gonna be okay with the elements. He's very endearing to me, and I am very happy to see him on the season. And I'll be rooting for Nasir. And you know what? He's not going to be the grenade, Asia. You're safe. You're safe.
Yes.
All right. You got the Pooya blessing for Nasir.
Yeah. That's all I needed.
So, Liana, here we go. You'll have number 6 and number 7 overall. And still, then again, number 13.
This is completely ridiculous.
3 of the next 8 picks will be 3 of the next 8 picks will be from Liana.
3 of the next eight picks. Do I get a pick before? Did Chappell get a pick before then?
Yes, you'll come back around. You'll both pick one. You'll pick Chappell pick 1 pick before Liana. You'll pick 2 picks before Liana's 3rd pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
See?
All right.
Totally fair. So for my pick, I am so excited and absolutely shocked that this person fell to me. I am picking Shan for my first pick. And this is maybe just completely personal, 100% vibe with her. I just absolutely fell in love with her. I thought that she was so confident and self-assured, and also knew her own strengths. And I think that that is going to be super advantageous for her. And I think that she has experience with the game, even though it's maybe not as much as some of the other players, but still, I think that that is an absolute benefit. And I'm really happy to have her as my first pick.
Yep.
I made a mistake trusting you, Liana.
You said
I had a feeling.
Yes.
I'm like shocked that she's here. Very happy to have her.
Now, Liana, when you said you totally vibed with Chantel, did you also have like a rough upbringing and got into trouble as a youngster, and then before like reforming your act?
I mean, you didn't meet me before I joined RHAP much later. No, I did not have that type of upbringing, but it was just the way that she talked about her experiences and how she's grown from all of the things that she's been through, much more intense than I cannot speak to that. But I just really loved her element of self-expression and her confidence, and the fact that she talked about how the greatest players are just themselves. Like, that to me, again, is always the strongest thing I look for in a Survivor player. And she has that. Absolutely great answer.
Okay, do we hear from the panel?
Well, I have a question. Asia, you said Liana took who you wanted to pick and you trusted her. Liana, question. Was Asia's pick a Nasir in jeopardy? Would you have gotten Nasir if Asia didn't get him?
It's definitely a possibility. He's sort of on the line, so it's possible. If you had gone with her, you might not have gotten Nasir. So I think you made the right call with going with your gut.
Okay. I can take that.
Okay.
It's so nice when your picks are so close together that you can really like work out exactly what. Like for me, it's like, and with you, and you have picked Chappell, you get it.
Well, Shannon,
get over
you
it,
just take a pick and then go to sleep for a bit,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Only I can complain about the pick order. Thank
No,
you.
Chappell. But we're right next to each other. We're in this together.
All right.
I get 2 picks.
Chappell and Shannon, this is Liana's turn to talk about her pick.
Oh yes, and then she's gonna have another pick, right? So let's just all cede the floor to Liana for the next 40 minutes.
I'm fine with that.
Shannon is livid.
Okay.
Go back
is
to that.
anybody
Good.
low on Chantel?
She's not an athlete,
she's
I would
up there.
say.
I mean, there is one concern, right?
Yes.
Her pet peeve, doesn't like bad breath.
Mm-hmm.
Could be an issue on Survivor.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but on that, like, what pet peeve is like? Okay, well, then that's good for Survivor. Like, my pet peeve is like all the pet peeves come out on Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
What
pet
if
peeve
someone's
Survivor.
wearing? What if like you get Rupert? Rupert had ill-fitting jeans. He had to wear a skirt.
Exactly, and then
We
you
would
just
have voted
vote
him out. And
Easy.
Yeah.
You
I
should
just think,
always
like-
vote out men with ill-fitting jeans. That's just basic
But-
Survivor 101.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many annoying things people do on Survivor that like every pet peeve is a red flag. Like, yeah, that's gonna come up every time.
yeah.
I mean,
Unless
there
your pet peeve is people not playing Survivor.
I
Well,
will
that
say,
could also
you
come
know,
up. So
not to forecast a future pick here, but Tiffany did say she hates brushing her teeth before bed. So I'm just saying there might be some inbuilt conflict here going
Yeah,
on.
that was a weird thing to admit. Like no one was asking.
Why? No,
Yeah.
yeah. You take that to your grave.
You die with it.
Okay. All right. At the end of round one, let's just check in real quick on the leaderboard. Okay. To review our picks from round
Oh, wow.
one. Chappell got us started with Ricard, and then Shannon at number 2 overall went with Danny. Then Taran took Erica at number 3. Pooya took Deshaun. Asia took Nasir. Liana just took Chantel, and Liana is going to pick once again. All right, Liana, ready to start off round 2?
Liana.
Ah!
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Steve
Good pick.
Holtz, Liana. Like I have to pick my namesake. I'm so excited there's someone named Liana on the season. I cannot wait. I am rooting for her. I have some issues. I'm a little terrified for her, but you know what? I have to 100% support someone with my own name. So let's go, Liana. She is my next pick.
No, Liana, this is not like I'm telling you. I just had my name on Survivor, on Australian Survivor for the first time. If you were to Google you a month ago and Liana Survivor, I bet it's all you. And right now, you've fallen pretty far on Google. So it's a double-edged sword. I'm telling you, like if she does well,
Mm-hmm.
I
You're
mean, she
out.
just fixed it though, because she just picked Liana in the draft, and this draft is going to be the top Google result
Yes.
for
Naturally.
Survivor
Obviously,
for probably
make
the
that
next
happen.
4 years. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Liana, if that, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying. That so if that Liana Wallace takes all of your Google search results, you're very okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm
anybody
on
that's
board.
Googling Liana Survivor, you'd prefer they find her.
Yes, in fact, that would be ideal for any future employers that may be listening.
Yeah. Luckily,
Okay, we're different
I-
people. I get it.
The same for me. That if you search for Survivor Rob, I don't come up either.
I'm okay with that.
What
That's
if you type
so
in that
sad.
text at the end?
But yes, Liana is, it's also just so weird to hear everyone talk about Liana. I'm like, that's me. Or on the Survivor Facebook page, people are like, oh, Liana's gonna do so good. And I'm like, yeah, we are. Like, I'm also there. No, I like Liana. I think the only thing that I'm nervous about is that she's young. She's 20 years old. And I think that if she, just might not have maybe some of the necessary life experiences that may be required for her to do better. But overall, I'm excited about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Liana was my second pick on the board. Primarily because I think she just had a very warm presence. She seems really smart. My biggest concern was that she was 20 years old, for sure. But she also had the upside that now no longer exists. But that if she won the game, that I could say that Liana won. But if then Liana won the draft, I could say that Liana won, and therefore I also still won. But that's now Liana's just doubled down on herself at this point.
Let's go, Liana.
Okay. Anybody lower on Liana?
I mean, the age thing,
Big fan.
there's so many good young picks that I feel like I'm just now getting past the age thing. She's like so smart, super physical, clearly like a deep thinker, really mature. I think like I'm very excited about her. Like 8, but she doesn't come across as 20 to me, but like she is 20. So that's like my
Very
only
accomplished for 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's a great pick. I had her very high.
I also
only I
think
had a pick
that
now.
her tribe has a real sort of like dumpster fire potential, and I feel like that if
Dumpster
they
fire
get into
potential.
trouble, I feel like they're not looking at her.
DFT. Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like Liana's going to be safe. I don't think you have to worry about her as the grenade. All right. So now let's go back to Asia. Asia, you are up. The 8th pick overall.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with someone who is also young, but I believe that they have potential because I think they'll do fine physically. I think that their tribe will rely on them to do well in competitions. I think that they'll do fine socially. I think that they'll be underestimated. And they're also on the tribe with Shan, my true number 1 pick, but we'll forget about that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with JD.
All right.
Ugh.
Here comes JD.
So annoying.
Okay. JD has been somebody that I've been very high on through the preseason. I've just been worried that he looks like he's got almost everything you would want. Is he too big of a threat?
I don't know. He doesn't present threat. He presents a very chill, like he has just good vibes. I feel like he would be easy to talk to. I feel like people are going to underestimate the fact that he knows so much about Survivor and the fact that he's young. They're going to see him as the young guy. And I think if he can align with the right people to learn the ropes, because I am concerned about him strategically, but I think he is charismatic enough and he will be helpful enough in challenges that people are going to want to work with him. So that's what really drew me to him.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a shock to me that he slipped here to number 8 overall in the draft. I think he's one of the biggest fallers in this draft. Is there a reason why any of the people on the panel were lower on JD?
So I'm not lower on JD. I think this is an amazing pick. I just think once he starts to speak, I think once he starts to speak, it's going to be very apparent that he's smarter than he lets on. Like, I just don't think he can hide it. I think at first sight, he does look like, oh, it's a younger guy. But look at like all his accomplishments. He does dance and jujitsu and all this other stuff. Like, you're going to very quickly find out, like, oh, this guy is more than he lets on. He's super athletic. So at the merge, you're going to be looking at somebody like him. And so for me, it's like, there are going to be a billion reasons to get him out before the final, but then also he's 20 some years old. Like when they if he's sitting there next to somebody with a family or, with all these life accomplishments that they've, come from a gang background or, taught themselves how to speak English, watching Survivor, like he might not get the votes. And so that's why I didn't pick him, but I do think I think he's going to do great in the game.
That's why if he's sitting at the end, he just needs to sit next to Nasir, and then I'll be great.
You win. Asia wins.
I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about his end game plans because he is also a Goku fan, and if you're watching Big Brother, that's something to be concerned about.
Yeah. I mean,
he was the person I was struggling with between him and Danny. I felt like he would be like consensus number 1, but I feel like maybe the age thing is getting to people more than I anticipated, but I mean, now they're going now, but like super athletic, knows how he's perceived, obviously smart, really, really likable, like really good mix of skills. And I feel like he could be through, like he feels like he's a possible Jungle Boy archetype. He's got like the Malcolm thing that inspires him. He like made me feel so old when he's like, yeah, I've really been a fan of Malcolm since I was like a little kid. And I was like a little kid. That's the reason. He's like, it's like modern Survivor. But he like, I think the fact that he knows himself really well, he knows how he's perceived, like that's a really good tool to wield. And I think amazing pick, absolute steal for sure.
He has charisma for days.
Yeah.
He really does. It just oozes out of his pores. I think for me, one of the reasons why I didn't go with him is that my pet peeve is puka shell necklaces on men. So that's the only reason why.
They all come out of Survivor.
Good pick.
Fair, Liana. Fair.
All right.
I mean, hopefully that's not true for all Lianas, otherwise he's in trouble.
Imagine if it was. Imagine if there was just that one trait true of all Lianas.
The universal
Lianas,
Liana
just
agreement.
like
Yes.
them.
If somebody's out there in big ass jeans, you got to believe I'm trying to get them out. So I understand.
Pooya, here we go. All right.
Yes.
You have the 3rd pick of the 2nd round, number 9 overall. This will finish the first half of the draft.
Yes. So since I've picked 4 people from the top of my list were removed. There's one more on the top of my list that I have like ranked. No, 2 people. Then the rest are kind of in a free fall. Like it depends what I'm feeling. I might go for them. I'm kind of surprised she's still here. I'm going to pick someone that is on Asia's favorites tribe. Liana's pick, Shan. I'm going to go with Sarah. I'm going to pick Sarah here.
Sarah. Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
All right.
I am.
Sarah Wilson.
I just feel like Sarah is a little bit older than the youngest, which like I've always, I'm always scared of picking someone who's younger. They might like have a rough go of it. She's got smarts. She got that MIT thing on lockdown. I think she's going to be fine. Her favorite player is Kim Spradlin. I feel like if you like Kim, you kind of get it. She's She's like, no slouch in understanding the game, no slouch in being a fan of the game. So I like all of that from her as well. And her hobbies include poker, aerial skills, cooking, and baking. Tick, 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 tick. These are all great things to be fans of going into this. And if her 3 words to describe herself, you've got resilient and witty, I'm in. Pet peeve is loud chewing. I feel like we all feel the same way, but there might not be a lot of food for people to be chewing on this season. So you're going to be okay. Like, I feel like you're fine. No one's chewing nothing, so you'll be fine.
Yeah. You don't chew the rice that loud.
Yeah. She's not a fan of crude humor. And I feel like, as a household, Liana and I are a lot of crude humor. So she might not be a fan of us, but she don't need to be a fan of me to win. I'm okay with that. I don't think she's going to win, but I feel decent about her shots here to go far.
Okay. All right. Anybody low on Sarah?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything that stands out as like a reason why you wouldn't pick Sarah. I think this is a great pick. I know that she said, like she's a competitive swimmer, and in the past we hope that kind of thing will pay off for you, but we've seen that, people don't really care once you get out on Survivor. But with it being a smaller tribe, maybe you can make a case for themselves. I mean, like I said, Katrina Radke did go out on a small tribe and she was an Olympian, but we've seen other people like, you can't ever not be an Olympian once you're an Olympian. It's like you can't, once the band-aid's off, you can't, whatever. Anyway, so I think that could play in her favor, but it's not guaranteed to. I just think she's all around a very good pick.
The only thing negative I have to say about her is she, talked about she's watched a lot of the seasons of Survivor like multiple times. And I think it's one thing to study Survivor. It's another thing to play Survivor. You can say your favorite player is Kim Spradlin, but to play like Kim is a whole different ballgame. And so it's kind of like you may be good at Survivor theoretically, but perhaps in practice, it might be a little bit more challenging. But really, that's the only thing negative I can think to say about her.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the issue for me, is like she said all these things, but for some reason, her saying it, I wasn't completely buying it. It was like, yes, she wants to. I know she wants to in her heart, but is she able to? So that was my holdup with her, because I could see her very well just kind of having that in her mind and not knowing how to put it into action.
But like she went to MIT, right? Like obviously super smart, which so much of this cast is, it almost becomes like a moot point, but like really smart cast, but she seems so smart and personable. And again, I like the age that she is slightly older than some of these other picks. Like I feel for me in any other format, she would have been my first pick. I feel like she has the best combination of skills more generally, just in the way I'm seeing this shorter game. I thought like higher on like extreme athleticism, obviously, but I think in most formats, like she for me would be number 1.
Okay. Shannon, I think it's interesting how much weight you're putting on the shorter format and the increased physicality.
I think it's just coming from AU and from SA, where it's just like, I mean, AU is so long, and then SA, there's like so many pure rounds. Like this, there's no pure rounds at all, and it's 18 people. It is, other than Heroes.
You say it's pure round. What do you mean by that? A 3-day?
Like no idols, no fire.
Okay.
Just literally outlasting. Like I see now, you got outwit 33% still. Usually you've got outplay roughly 33% and outlast in some like even way. I see outlast now is much lower, and I go more higher on the outplay factor, just because if you have skills like challenge wins, obviously we always have, but like fire, idols, if you can find mechanisms to help you through the game, you could get through the entire game like that. And the only other season that has had this few people with all pure rounds is Heroes, Healers, and Hustlers, where Ben won. So that's the archetype I'm kind of looking at. It feels like fast paced. It feels like go from day one, just play hard. If you're a big threat, it may be less of an issue because you can just maybe beast out to the end. So I'm just tipping it a little bit in that way, but I still think that she's an incredible pick.
That's just really interesting to have you weigh in on that, because I know you have just gotten off of covering Australian Survivor, where it's almost the opposite of this, where lengthwise it's twice as long as this. So do you feel like you're looking for an opposite skill set that you would be looking for if this was an Australian Survivor draft?
Yeah, like the Australian Survivor drafts or winner picks, I always go for parabolic women. I usually go for female players who I feel like can go really early. They could be grenade picks, but then if they make it through, then they'll outlast. And there's so much time to take out the big physical threats, even though Australian Survivor can be hyper physical in its own way. Whereas I do the opposite for this, where I'll go much more the alpha type players that have definitely been winning recently, much more people who can find idols where they'll always be able to play them, make fire, win challenges, like just beast out. That's how I look at it. It's completely the opposite of the way that I would look at a more possibly beta player or like completely different demographic of AU.
Yeah. See, I hadn't really changed the equation because I had been thinking about it where they're having the same number of tribal councils. It's not necessarily like you're playing a season like with 12 players.
Well, it's just because yes, but no, because it's 18 people. And every time we've seen Fire, for example, since Ghost Island has been more. And then you've had Edge bringing in more people. Like this is, it's pretty few tribal councils. And compared to when there's no pure rounds, it just feels like to me, being a threat is less of a liability to me now than ever. Still is, obviously, but less so than usual.
Interesting. Okay. That's great analysis, Shannon.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, with that said, I guess that is a red flag for Sarah then, right? Because her thing is that she's so smart that she could figure out the social game later on. But like, now that I think about it, like if it's less social game and more like other game mechanisms, then maybe that's not a red flag at all. Maybe she'll be okay.
Yeah, I feel like the social game for me, I don't know if you need to be like as social because I'm again putting more on outplay, but in these really small tribes, I do feel like if you're just like so annoying, like if you can kind of like half get on, you don't have to be the most social person, I feel, but if you're like so annoying, you'll stand out. So that for me is a big red flag. And that might be a big issue when we start getting into the grenade zone that Chappell and I are in.
Okay. All right. You pick again in one pick after
Yes,
we
been
hear from
waiting.
Taran.
Yes.
Starting off the second half of the draft, Taran, who you got?
All right. I'm gonna keep playing risky because
All right.
I don't care. You know what? I'll hold a grenade. I can take a grenade. And I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pick Sydney.
Oh.
Sydney. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sydney.
Talk this through.
I just I like Sydney. I got a good vibe from her. I feel like she's definitely potentially an early boot. I feel like she could not fit in very well. Those are definitely things that could happen. But if she's not a first boot, I think that she could do great. I think that she has a very sort of like a standout personality. And I think that like on the tribe that she's on, I think she might be able to sort of like squeeze her way in there. I think she's got a good shot at this.
Okay. All right. I think this might be our most controversial pick of the draft so far. Does anybody have not so great feelings about Sydney?
That communal sigh was very fun.
There was a lot to unpack from her bio, from her saying that she's like her favorite player of all time is Russell Hantz, which, by the way, like a great character, but if you're bringing any Hansian stuff into this, it might not work out for you. But also she was saying, like, I really want to make a lot of bonds in the beginning and worry about the social game. But like with the shorter game period and a smaller tribe, you might want to start talking about some strategy very early on to at least solidify that you're not the grenade. So for that reason, I would worry about her a little bit. She does seem like someone who's just going to say what's on her mind, which doesn't doesn't bode well for people in this game. A lot of times you have to be able to hide who you really are to get through a couple rounds. And I just don't think she'll be able to do that, which is a plus in life, but I don't think that's a plus in Survivor.
Situationally, I feel like that I'm especially worried about her in the tribe that she is in. I feel like that I could see the rest of her tribe being a little bit more cohesive, and I really am concerned about her the first time her tribe goes to tribal council.
Yeah.
Same. Her interview with Rob and Mike, I was listening to it in the car on the way back from all the lovely wine, and me and my friends were literally like, all of her answers, we were like, what are you serious? I'm like, and then just reading more of her interview with Mike, it was just like, what is your answer to going to be like with you being underestimated? She's like, I honestly think I'll be overestimated. And so I don't know.
Number 10 overall.
So she's right.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous about her because she is very high on herself, and I love the confidence. I just worry how it's going to play out there.
See, I liked the overestimated answer because I feel like the real ego-driven thing is to say, people don't think I'm as great as I am, but secretly I am much greater than that. For her to say, people will probably think I'm better than I actually am. I appreciated that level of self-awareness.
I
That's fair.
appreciate that Taran is willing to just pick up the grenade, stare it straight in the face, and say, "Go off! I dare you. Go, do it."
Some may call me a hero.
They weren't,
and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on Sydney?
She was the one who said that she might just like pick up a bug and stick it in her mouth, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that her?
And walk around naked.
Yeah. So, you know, she's wild. She's gonna be a wild card. And if Taran's strategy is to go
die
wild,
in the
I
first
think
boot. Yeah.
you went full buck wild, Taran, and I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and now, Shannon, you said, "Oh, it'll never get back to me, that I'm never going to get to pick again." Well, here we are.
It's been a long time.
It's been a minute. The 11th pick overall is yours.
Yeah, I feel like anyone could guess what I'm going to do next because I've outlaid my strategy to like extremes at this point. I haven't listened to this person's interview yet. I'm still getting there. But just on stats, sight unseen, I'm going to take Xander.
Hey.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense because I'm saying I don't feel like age is as big an issue as other people are making it. I feel like this guy is like, he's not even a person. He's like Gen Z personified, and they just like put it into the algorithm and then just like spat out this guy. He's literally an app developer. He does seem smart and super athletic, cross-country national, loving that. I think he's a deceptively deep thinker too by some of his answers. He's like the obvious golden boy, but again, I don't think that being that threatening is so much of an issue. He sees himself as like something of a J type. It's good that he kind of understands his own archetype and where he fits into that. That's obviously an archetype we've seen do very well in modern Survivor. Like, I just feel he's ideal for the modern game. The age thing isn't a huge thing to me. I think the age disparity of this cast is really interesting. There could be some great alliances happening that are like pretty maternal or paternal or like teacher alliances that you and Mike were kind of talking about. So if someone could really capitalize on that from either side of it, I think that could be a really good thing. He should just pick up a mom, be a son, and take it to the end. And I think physically he has the capacity to do that. So I don't know if he would have gone soon, but I think he might have gone before second last, and as such I will take him here.
Okay. All right. So I think this could be a
What
controversial
Chappell?
pick. Chappell?
Huh?
You just seem like you have thoughts about it.
I'm thinking about me. I don't get another pick for 2 years. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what I'm
Okay.
gonna do. Y'all talk this
All
out.
right. Well, Chappell is in the on deck circle. Does anybody else have feelings about Xander?
I think he may feel a little bit like a fish out of water when he gets out there. Just some of his answers were, yeah, I don't know, felt very not grounded. And so I think that's probably my concern. He seemed like the youngest of the youngins for me.
Yeah.
Ironically, he isn't though.
Yeah, he's
21.
somebody-
That's like a dinosaur in this cast.
I feel like that in some ways he was giving me Travis BB23 vibes in that he's kind of like looks like a surfer guy, but he's actually an app guy. He's very concerned with like people's perceptions of him.
Yeah, he's also, it just doesn't seem like he's going to fit in very well. I mean, he's just, he's very one of a kind on this cast, where normally there'd be a few of him, and I'm not sure that's going to play out super well for him. I think that, he's probably not the grenade. He's probably not going out first.
Yeah.
But is this guy gonna be the one that this cast awards the $1 million? Like, I don't know.
If he's won 8 challenges to get there and then he made fire and he played 3 idols, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He did speak to that he seems to know the show, Shannon, to your pick. So I feel like that he definitely like has the ability.
Yeah, I mean, look, he wouldn't be my first pick, but I'm here, in the late stages of
You're
this
11.
draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a pretty good pick for pick 11. There were good picks taken very recently, which was a bit upsetting. But
Yeah, who was the one person that you were really hoping to get?
I mean, I really wanted JD. I really wanted Liana. All the young kids, I feel like I feel like Deshawn I had high as well.
We really just wanted those, Shannon.
Sarah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, all the picks that I wasn't allowed to have.
Same.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I got like the 10th pick, and all of my top 10 were.
I got pick number 11.
Mhm. Okay, let's go back to Chappell. Chappell, you got us started. Here we are. Back to you. The last pick of the second round, number 12 overall.
Yeah, and so for me, I like all of these people that are left, but there's one that I think has a lot of variance, and I think like I'm still trying to avoid the bomb. Now y'all have to remember, I'm not playing to win. I'm playing not to lose at this point. Since first pick, because I understand the assignment here. Okay, so for me, and y'all can help me talk through this a little bit. I'm looking at each of the tribes and saying like, okay, if this tribe loses, who goes first? And sometimes the person who I like the best is the person who I think would go first on said tribe. Like, so I'm looking like, oh my gosh, I really want this person to do well, but if they lose, I could just see them throwing them to the wolves, and I just don't want to carry that. So dang it. But I would vote this person out first. but I
Just
think
do it,
they're least
Chappell.
likely.
You have
Whoa.
nothing to lose. You're in such a bad spot. You might as well have fun with it.
You're right. You know what? You're right. Man, if I'm going to go out first, if I'm going to pick the bomb, give me Evie, man. I want Evie. Give me the
Evie.
bomb. Yeah, if Evie going to be the bomb, then we be in the bomb together. We a bomb couple.
It's a
Evie's
great
dope.
pick.
Evie is
Great
dope. I
pick.
don't care. Yeah. I feel like physically on the tribe, if they lose, they could easily look at Evie as somebody who is not pulling their weight. Evie has said that they are not physical, but very smart. I think they're very likable. So for me, I'm like, if this is the bomb, if I have to get the bomb, I'm okay with the bomb being Evie.
Okay. Yeah, I think I was surprised to see Evie fall this far to number 12.
I am not.
Evie next.
I had her.
I was torn between Evie
Yeah.
and
So
the one I picked.
So for me, like that tribe, it just looks like, okay, like if we have to just like point to the smaller or less athletic people, Evie is getting pointed out instantly. But I'm hoping that there's a jerk on their tribe who will go before Evie. So, I'm just saying that I would feel good if Evie were to go far in this game. So I'm fine picking them.
Okay. Does anybody feel like Chappell might have made an especially bad pick?
Me, but I'm okay with it.
I honestly don't think you did. Evie was next on my list, third overall for me.
Okay.
I think they have some upside. I think that they'll be underestimated. So, especially being newer to Survivor, I think there's a benefit in that.
Yeah, I thought Evie had an especially strong interview from what Mike and I listened to on the podcast. I thought that they had a lot of really interesting answers and really kind of like simplified the game. And as far as like the strategic part of the game of saying that, it's not really that complicated and they're going to have a great social game. Now, are they going to be able to bring what Shannon is talking about in terms of the physicality that might be required to devour the monster? That we don't know. But
I think Chappell, I'm looking at this tribe, right? I think Evie's gonna be fine. I don't read it like I don't read that Evie's gonna be the one to be like on the outs. I feel like Evie is going to be finding common ground with some of these people. I feel like it's gonna work out for you. I feel like you've evaded the grenade yet again. I think you're okay.
Yeah, I just knew that even if this is the grenade, Evie is dope. And so I'm fine. Me and the grenade will go out and we will be okay. I'm like Taran. I'm holding the grenade. If it's mine, then it's just mine. And I'm rooting for Evie.
Okay. Let's recap round number 2 here. Okay. Liv has it all for us here on the chart. Liana got round 2 started with Liana. Then we had it was Aysha who took JD. Pooya took Sarah. Taran took Sydney. Shannon ended up with Xander. And Chappell just picked Evie at number 12. For round number 3, we will go back to Liana and head to Chappell. All right. Number 13, Liana.
Yes. So Evie was someone who I was looking at very closely. I was between them and someone else. And so, Chappell, you made my decision for me. So I appreciate that, even though we may make the decision for you at the end. It all comes
Thank you.
around. So I'm going to go with
Full
someone
circle.
who I didn't get much initially from reading their bio. But then once I heard their interview, I just really sort of started to gravitate towards them and really liked them. And that is Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Yes.
All
So
right.
I do think there may be, unfortunately, a little bit of grenade risk here, but I'm willing to go for it. I think that Tiffany is someone who, describes herself as very loud. Same. So I can relate to that. And I'm just hoping that that ends up coming across as a benefit and not as a detriment.
Okay. All right. Maybe a Tiffany will win one of these shows this year.
We can only hope.
Okay. All right. So Liana takes Tiffany of the 6 picks that are left. Is there anybody that would not have gone in this direction?
I mean, just from an athleticism standpoint, again, we're trying to pick the winner, but we're also trying to pick who's not going to get like thrown off the tribe just because like they lost the first competition. And so I think Tiffany could be in danger there, but I don't think Tiffany is any more in danger than anybody else that would be like that we're about to pick, right? So it's not like they just stand out. I think their tribe has a lot of options for the bomb. And so like I could see a world where it's Xander, where it's a couple of other people. So, I think Tiffany will be fine. But for me, it was just like, who did I feel better about picking and just riding with them on my team? And that's why I went with Evie and not Tiffany. But Tiffany was higher up on this round of picks for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She got engaged watching an episode of Survivor. How cute a story is that?
Mhm.
Obsessed. It's been, something that's been with her for so long.
Yeah.
And I just
Is that
I
what
really
Pooya
felt
did?
No.
Oh.
No.
Best
no.
singer?
I'm trying to imagine what I would.
Not even Lego Master?
Yeah.
But imagine someone like proposing during Survivor. You'd be like, I'm missing it now.
Yeah,
Like, then
I'm
are you watching the rest of the
Yeah.
episode? Like,
Better be during commercial.
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
it's like, oh my god, yes, thank you so much. And now we're back. Like now the show is back on. Yeah.
Okay. You can't wait for until Criminal Minds? Come on.
Steel Team is next.
Mhm. That's true. That's true. All right. So, all right. Any other thoughts on Tiffany here at number 13? Then we'll go to Asia.
Great pick.
Asia, you will round out your team here at number 14 overall. 5 are left.
Right. Yes, take that into mind. 5 are left. I know, Shannon, but I do want to round out.
Complaining as much as me.
I do want to round out my team with a woman, and I think based on her biography, all the short answers give me everything I need to see that I can't remember if they're a big fan or not, but based on these short answers, they may not be. I don't know. But I'm going to go with Jeannie Chin.
Okay. Jeannie Machini.
Yes. Jeannie Machini.
Okay.
She's 40.
Why?
Yeah, she's 46. So yes, that's on the upper end, but
It's not that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
But she describes herself as funny, kind, sensible. I got the vibes from some of the videos I was watching of her that she does really think that she's very likable. She thinks a lot of people will really like her, which could be a blessing and a curse, because sometimes when people think that they're so likable and then they end up not being likable or not being perceived by other people as likable, then they might crumble under pressure or think, what's wrong? I'm not used to this feeling. Everyone usually likes me. So I'm more so thinking on the positive side of it. Everyone's going to like her. She's going to get along well with people. They're not going to see her as a threat. So as long as she's not a detriment in competitions, then I think she'll be fine.
Okay. All right. How does the rest of the panel feel about Jeannie?
I liked Jeannie. Look, there's three players I'm trying to avoid, and in order to avoid them, I needed Liana, Aysha, and Pooya to not pick three other players, and now two of them are gone. So if Pooya picks one more player, I'm going to be with that player. And Jeannie was one of the players I was okay with getting because I do think that she, unless she's really delusional, she probably is pretty likable. You don't really usually go that hard with the line of I'm really likable if you're not, unless you're like really, really not self-aware. So I think she is probably very likable, and I think that that's going to do good things for her. She also says that she's decently physical, and I think that if that is true, then I think she could definitely make a run here.
Yeah, I buy Jeannie being likable. I don't think that she gets on the show and us not like seeing it right away that, oh, this is a crazy person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely likable. I think this is a really great pick. I think, there's just a little bit of the risk of the grenade, but I think that the tribe that Jeannie's starting on, again, strong. So I'm feeling good about her chances.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So 4 picks are left. Pooya, we come to you. To round out your team, you took Deshaun, you took Sarah. Who you got? Actually, let me also set up who is still on the board for people playing along at home. Heather, Brad, David, and Eric are the 4 players that are left.
It's difficult because the way we're sitting right now, there's definitely 2 people in the I'm not picking you crew. And then there's 2 people in the I'm considering you crew. So really that's where I'm sitting. That's right. Mm-hmm. So I'm very interested in this pick, not because I think they've got good odds, but because I'm trying to not be the grenade.
Avoid the grenade. Yes.
Avoiding the grenade. That's number 1 mission here. With that being said, I'm banking that the person I'm picking will not be the grenade. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a flyer here. I'm going to go with Eric.
Eric.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Eric seems pretty grenade proof to me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to judge based on Sharon's face.
Yeah, you guys won 1 through 3. 1, 2, 3 on that one. Okay. Great job.
Mm-hmm.
So glad we reversed the order there at the end, Rob.
Hey, I had to make it fair.
Yeah. So it was between, I'll be candid. The other person for me was looking to be Heather. So it was between the 2 of them. I ended up going with Eric because I think ultimately he's someone that'll just bring the tribe good, at least to start the game. Mm-hmm. I think where he might have a tough go of it is if he ends up being too much attempt to be leadery, that someone might not be okay with it given a swap, or even if his initial tribe doesn't like him, they'll be like, we'll deal with him the first go around. Next go around, we're not really listening to this anymore. That's kind of where I am, honestly. I think he'll be fine though. I'm even going to be willing to gamble on the fact that maybe he's able to like ride it out with people and not be like loud and trying to control. I think he's going to be fine. I feel like he's going to be fine. I feel decently, especially given the final 4 here. I feel okay with this pick. I think I'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I like Eric too. I think he has a really positive energy that he's bringing to the tribe. I just wonder how well he's going to work with everybody else if they don't necessarily see eye to eye. I mean, he's an older guy, has a military background. I feel like that he could be potentially very set in his ways.
Yeah, he's very much the leader, which can go like one of 2 ways. In these small tribes with a hard, very survivalist season, people might cling to that. Or they'll hate it and they'll send you out first for it. But it could go one of 2 ways. I actually lean to it going pretty well for him. I love that he was a professor and there's so many college kids. Like for me, there's that like inherent connection that can be made. I think like he's lived a ridiculously interesting life. Like he seems to have done it all. He loves to look at the moon. He was like, he's got so many interesting hobbies, he's just a really interesting guy and obviously really smart. I think he says he's physical, which I like. It's only the fact that he's like definitely coming in as the leader. So it's that binary of like, how is that going to go? But I think it's interesting casting. Like I'm very interested to see more from him and I really enjoyed his interview. So we'll see.
You know who else like looking at the moon? this year.
Yes.
Ooh,
The
connection.
butt.
Yeah.
The butt. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Is anybody especially down on Eric? I mean, all of you had the chance to draft him. You all passed on him at least twice before this.
Yeah.
If I had a fourth
Asia.
pick coming back around, he would have been it. So I don't know if that says anything.
I'll take it.
I'm so nervous he's gonna rub people the wrong way. Like I just the volume purely initially was a little bit worrisome for me. That combined with what Shannon said about it's being a leader or bust kind of deal. And I don't know how you guys felt with your college professors, but like we're not all BFFs with our college professors, so that may be an issue also. Like, oh, I got a bad grade and this guy reminds me of my teacher, so we're done.
But it seems like no one on this class got bad grades. Like that's the thing. It's like they're all like, they're like an A+ class. Like I think that
We love teachers.
they're like, yeah,
Right.
the teacher's pets. Like I feel like this is the class that could vibe with the professor.
Yeah. I said this in one of the preseason podcasts, but I kind of feel like that, like Survivor was like a college that when I went to it, like I could get in. And now it's like that they have really like upgraded their standards to the point that like I think I'm getting the rejection letter of like, you, sir, are not having nearly the resume that you need to get in here. This is a
volunteer
real school for
now.
you.
Yeah.
Extracurriculars look like Rob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric is the player I thought had the most variance because I do think that like, yes, they can lead a tribe and win, but I also think that you could be looking at the grenade here because for me, this is the person that I would not want to work with. Like I relate to Eric so much. He's from Texas, he's a teacher, like, like, okay, cool. I was like, gotcha, Eric, we gonna ride together. I got this. But then when it came time to pick him, I was like, if I was on an island, he would not like me. I am not rule oriented. I'm definitely like, I'm a teacher, but I'm the fun teacher. Like I'm the
He's
one where the other
military
teachers
as
are telling
well,
on me.
right?
Yeah, and he's military. Like, and there's no world. Like the other teachers tell on me because I'm like off like script. He is the teacher that is definitely like the one that like he's the department head who's like, you can't keep acting like this. The kids like you too much. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I can,
Universal.
good faith pick. Yeah, I don't know if I can pick him. So like very much going to lead, but if you put him on the tribe, like eventually like at the merge or something, he's going to be trying to dictate a lot what these younger kids do. And I just don't see them all just jiving with that. So that's the reason why I didn't pick him, but I think he's going to do good in the game. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to really focus on the team aspect, and he's going to be all about the team. Then the question is, do the other members of his tribe care about the team, or is that going to fall flat? And I don't know. I don't know about that.
Oh no.
Okay. Taran, you have the first of the last 3 picks. Heather,
do.
Brad, and David, one from each tribe.
And you know what? I didn't really want any of them. This
You
draft order
willingly
has not
took
worked
Sydney
out
with your last pick.
super well for me. Here's the thing. I feel like the only way for me to end this draft for myself is to go with what I deem to be the riskiest grenade pick.
Do you understand the assignment, Taran? Do you know what we're doing here?
Don't do it.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Yeah, sorry.
David.
Okay.
David.
I would have
Yeah.
taken David. I like that pick.
Yeah.
Here's the
Shannon, we
thing.
know.
Here's
Okay.
the thing. I think David is the riskiest grenade pick, but if he's not the grenade, if he's not as bad as it seems like he might be, he's probably got the most win equity. Right? So that's why I'm going with David here. And you know what? Again, I'm not afraid of no grenade.
Okay.
I'll take David on.
Yeah, David Voce, here he is. Student of the game, Taran. You have to like that.
No.
Love it. Don't love it.
David, in like what little I've seen of the clips of him, I immediately was like, oh boy, He talks about how he's gonna win because he has the ultimate strategy prepared. It's gonna work, and I just feel like he is not gonna mesh well with Evie, who he's on a tribe with right away, and that could be very bad for his immediate prospects. But you know what? He may also be somebody if, maybe he comes off a certain way. Maybe he gets on the island. Maybe if he survives the first couple rounds, things get a little better. You crack down beneath the surface and he's in there with a shot. But look, I'm going to take it. Chappell's playing to not be grenaded. I'm playing to not care if I'm grenaded or not. And then if I survive the grenade, I've basically already won.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
I
think of it
agree.
that
That's a good win condition. I like that.
Right?
Okay. So, Liana, David is a neurosurgeon, so also from science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's something.
That is the thing. I think it's very brave of you, Taran, to make this pick. Bless your heart. To go with
People
David
do call me brave. Yep.
Yes. Look, I in my day have met some people who David reminds me of, and they were not necessarily personally my favorite type of person. And I'm just a little nervous that he's going to rub people the wrong way. So I think that this is a big risk.
Yes.
I don't know. He might not be the first boot. He might be the type of guy that you keep one round because he's the obvious first boot, and then you get rid of him second. So, maybe Taran, if that is your strategy, you could have done it here with David as your pick.
And here's the true test as well. I believe I picked one person from each tribe, so I'm not gonna cop out by being immune.
Smart.
No. They're gonna.
No one was asking you to do this, Taran.
Diversified his portfolio.
We love
Shannon
it.
Ramsey would be proud.
Yeah. Shannon, how about for David? I mean, there is some history of people named David being very good at Survivor on planet Earth.
Well, I'm higher on David, I think, than most. I definitely would have taken him had it fallen to me. Fallen to the depths of this draft that Chappell and I currently sit in. I feel like he's so smart. Obviously a neurosurgeon, good age, 35. I feel like only in Survivor can a neurosurgeon who overcame adversity to help people in fighting against the disease that killed his father be the villain. But obviously he will be the villain. But that is like an inspiring story. And he's going to be this villain because he seems maybe a little less social. But I feel like, again, like, is he like the one that's standing out and annoying people? For me, he's rubbing people the wrong way. That's like a little bit less just jarring. It might just be more of a slow burn. And then the season is over because it's 26 days. So I see it. I agree with Taran that if he can kind of get past that, he has a very high potential, higher than some other potential, I feel, at the depths of this draft. And I've been waiting to say this for a long time, Rob. In his interview, he said on Rob Has a Podcast, he heard that the thing you should do is go around and ask everyone you know what they don't like about you. And then Mike was like, did you say that? And you were like, sounds like something I said. And I'm like screaming at my phone. That's from Nick's Deep Dive. Nick Iadanza. So I'm fairly certain this guy listened to Nick's Deep Dive of Australian Survivor, and then Rob claimed it. And I love that.
In fairness to me,
please.
In fairness to me, Shannon.
Rob.
Yeah. Do you think I remember? I have like a transcript of 9 million hours of Rob Has a Podcast.
Yes. No, but I was just like, someone tell them that this is from Nick's Deep Dive. Like, that's so niche. If he's listening to the International Survivor RHAP feed, I want him as part of my team. So I'm pretty upset that Taran took him. But I want to hear
All
from
right,
him.
well, hold on. Can we work out a trade?
Are we doing
Yeah.
trade?
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't know
She
this was
hasn't
an
even picked
option.
What does she have?
Wait, trade what though? I
You're
like.
gonna trade
I
me
don't know.
somebody from
I'm
your
not
team
taking
already?
Sydney. Who was your first pick?
I'm not trading away Erica.
The whole team.
That's the only pick.
I really like your team, Taran. There's no one that I want.
Sorry.
No, you're gonna give me David, and I'll give you. Nah,
Here's-
I'm good with Brad.
Yeah, what? Somebody
Here's
I
what
didn't
I wanna
pick
say.
over you.
Yeah, Brad. Or
So
Yes, Pooya.
yeah, here's what I want to say about David here, right? So David knew the right things to say by citing, throwing some RHAP out there, throwing some Rob Cesternino name
Nick's
check.
deep dive.
Name checks David Bloomberg, right? And listen, David, Bloomberg, that is. I appreciate you.
If David Bloomberg was here, David would have gone number 1. Okay.
Yeah, listen.
Just
because one person vibes with your 8 rules doesn't mean they're about to break the mold. Like he's memorized the rules. He doesn't have any of the personability to pull them up. I don't think so. If David wins, I will eat 200 chicken nuggets in one day. I will double what I did last.
You just want to eat chicken nuggets.
He's not winning. Liana, he's not winning. You know this. I know this. Don't even. He's not winning.
Game. Amon ate a chapstick.
Yeah, 200 nuggets. No.
Go, Shannon. Look up the caloric content and the nightmare that'll do to your body. That's worse than a chapstick. I could top out on a chapstick. I'm doing the most.
Well, where will the where would the nuggets be from?
You pick the establishment.
Wait, but didn't you eat 200?
No, I know.
How many nuggets did you eat
rather
before?
you eat a chapstick.
100.
You ate 100?
Liana, it's not gonna. It's full. Liana, it's not gonna happen. You know he's not gonna win. It's David. You know he's not gonna win.
How much more is 200? Like, I know it's double, but once you've eaten 100, I feel like you're pretty much off to the races, right? Like,
you should have seen it. I was struggling. It was a mess. It was awful.
I was there for some of it. I
like once you're full, you might as well just be fuller. Like, no, that's not right.
It's never going to happen, so I'm confident.
Okay, fine. Pooya has suggested for no reason that if David wins, he'll eat 200 nuggets, which no one, again, was asking him to do. I love this. We should all have our own grenade pick, and we should all do something really strange.
Just as an example, 200 McDonald's McNuggets.
Oof, I don't want to know this right now, please.
8,300 calories.
Oh, that's not that bad.
And that's a lot of calories?
No.
It's I mean, if you're
2,000 for like a regular person, like per day,
it's like four days worth.
It's not impossible.
Like no one.
Let me say 2,000, Liana. He's not winning. Let me say 2,000.
That's impossible.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying 200, but it's not going to happen.
Listen, if Pooya has to eat the 200 McNuggets or chicken nuggets, I will eat 100. Just a solid 100.
Stop offering to eat nuggets. No one is asking anything.
It's not a sponsor. They're getting like
we have somehow managed to convince an entire audience to root for David to win this season. Who knew that was going to be the outcome of this podcast?
I do want him to do well. He's obviously a fan of RHAP, so we love that. But I just think that it came off very clinical, the answers, and not like in a doctor way, but it was just like very much like Survivor computer. It was spitting out the words, and it was like, I wonder if it translates. That's all. That's my only fear.
Yeah, I mean,
that's your only fear, and you offered to eat 100 nuggets.
I love chicken.
Here's the thing. I love to be wrong about my draft predictions. If David proves me wrong, I would be extremely glad, especially now that it means that Pooya would have to eat 200 nuggets.
Not gonna happen, but it's fine.
Okay, who's eating what?
We got too much to root for this.
It's not. We're fine. It's not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen.
Okay.
I just feel you were way too willing.
Yeah.
That's how much I believe in this. How much I believe it's not gonna happen. We're fine. Put this video on. It's not gonna happen. We're fine. We're good.
I'll just renew the life insurance policy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be bad for the podcast if Pooya dies from this bet.
It's fine. It's not. It's not. We're good.
I can't wait till I hire Melissa to advocate my case that Pooya did in fact agree for 2,000 nuggets.
I thought you meant to represent you in the murder trial.
Well, I mean, both things can be true. Both things.
No, but this is the sad thing.
Either one.
Okay, I see it. I know he's a neurosurgeon, but go with the storyline. Pooya eats 200 nuggets. They rush in a hospital. Who's there to help him? Survivor.
No.
That you doubted. And now you need him. And you know what he says? He says, "No, I refuse."
No, he's gonna make eye contact with me, and then he's gonna be like, he's gonna eye contact me. He's gonna don't scheme and plot too much. Oh no, it's over. It's over. It's over.
Yeah. Did we just win an Emmy?
I want Pooya to live. I want him on this earth for Liana, for all of us. I want Pooya to be alive, but I've never wanted anything more in my lifetime than for David to win Survivor.
Yeah.
I will sit on a live stream and I will watch you eat 200 nuggets, and not until every nugget is eaten will we be satisfied.
I'm down for 100. Put me down. I got you, Pooya.
All right.
Stop offering this.
There are 2 people left. Shannon, Brad or Heather, you take one. Chappell gets your leftovers. Any chance you want to punt to Chappell and have him pick the person that you get?
What? No, I'm not trying to lose like everyone else is trying to do. Like, no, I'm here to play some degree of optimally.
Just thought maybe you might like them equally.
I mean, we're in the grenade
You
zone.
have a clear favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I have someone who's slightly higher in my draft order.
Okay.
Chappell, who would you lean towards? I mean, we can talk it out because there's nothing.
Yeah, I mean.
Well,
So,
does he trust you to not steal it if he makes a good case?
Yeah, that's true.
Nah,
Shannon,
you can't. I'm going with who I
pick. Yeah.
You want me to just pick?
Just pick. Yeah. I mean, look, it's basically a coin toss at this point.
Chappell, do you have somebody that you
The human
prefer much more than the other person?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Oh.
I want to take that person from Chappell.
Standoff.
See, I knew it. I knew she couldn't be trusted.
Yes. Even if it's not the person that you want, do you want the person that Chappell wants
just
more
when it
than
felt-
who you actually want?
Yeah, like I felt like maybe at this point he would just kind of didn't care, but knowing that he has, I would love to extinguish that sense of
Do
having
it.
a purpose.
Extinguish it. Take me out.
I mean, I think like Heather, the maternal thing I like. She's a stay-at-home mom. And again, I see that maternal connection, but I feel like she's like very much in the grenade zone. Like she's like sitting on the grenade. Brad is a nail mail, obviously. He can't win. So it's not a pick that could win, but I'm just trying to not be immediately out. I feel like he's more long for the game because he's useful, right? He's a rancher. You know, you need survival aspects in a hard season, the monster, et cetera, et cetera. He's either going to be an early boot or like a pawn who I feel could coast, but they use him at least early for survival aspects. So yeah, I'm going to take Brad.
Okay.
Oh, Chappell's smiling. I'm going to take Heather. No.
Right, Shannon. Yeah, you can have Brad. I want Heather.
Okay.
No.
Well, let's talk about Brad first. Then we'll get to Heather. Okay. I mean, I think that Shannon outlined what the book on Brad has been through most of this preseason. Obviously, nobody was that high on Brad because that here he goes 17 picks into an 18 pick draft. Was anybody else considering Brad at an earlier point in this draft?
Nah.
No, Brad was number 17 for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait,
Yeah.
how many people on this, guys?
18.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who's lower than Brad on your pick on your list, Asia?
Sydney.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. All right. No real case that you can make for Brad to win this game. Anything? What's like the best case scenario for Brad look like?
Not being the first boot for me.
Not being I think he's in almost no danger of being the first boot.
Yeah, I don't think he's the grenade. That was what Tim said.
See, that's my issue. I think this could be your grenade. And here's why. He's a little bit older, which we know, like in Survivor, that can be a bad thing. But also, his energy level is just through the roof. He's calling himself a thoroughbred horse ready to be like let loose. And if he hits the beach running like Tony in Game Changers, Tony, not the good Tony, but the other Tony, like that could be bad. And he stands out. It's not like he can go looking for the idol and nobody missed this 6'5" giant looking for it. And he does seem like the type of person who will go looking for it day one. So for me, his energy is just so high energy that I could just see them being like, can we just get him out of here? Like I just couldn't pick Brad. I think he's so likable. I think he's gonna, do the best he can for the state of Wyoming because we've never gone there before. But even some of his references he was pointing to, like Ozzy, was because he loves Ozzy because he was so passionate. Yeah, but like
he's very passionate. He's a passionate man.
Oh yeah, so I've heard. There are some links. Yeah, but for me, like that's what you got for like, oh yeah, this is my Survivor guy. He's so passionate. Like, show me how you're gonna win the game. And it's not that Ozzy couldn't win the game, but there are ways that you could say Ozzy won the game because of this, and I like Ozzy could have won the game because of this, and I like that. He liked Tony, but just because he was so reckless and energetic, like Tony has a strategic mind, that you could probably talk about. He's very persuasive. He's very likable. But you'll say recklessness is what you were looking for in your Survivor icon. So I'm like, if I'm avoiding the bomb, I can't pick Brad. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he loves Ozzy so much because Ozzy was on like one of the 3 seasons he's seen. Right? Like that's the vibe I got.
Ozzy could have been on all the seasons he's seen.
Exactly. I feel like if we're talking about like what is Brad's best case scenario, it's like Survivor Gabon, right? Like I feel like he could be the Bob of the season.
There you go.
And
optimism.
yeah, that could work out, right?
Thank you, Karen.
It just kind of feels like he's in out of his depth a bit here. In terms,
Well, he's
of
picked 17.
Yeah.
Every
pick
other person on this cast is a like has been watching Survivor all their life, and he's on here. They're like, "What do you predict is going to happen on the season?" He's like, "I think in this one, it's going to be like an underdog, hidden warrior comes out and wins this game." Like, they weren't asking you what story is this season going to be. Like, he's on a different page, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He had a moment also in the interviews that Mike and I listened to from them where they asked him about his favorite all-time Survivor moment. And he said, yeah, just really like, the winning and the, and the winning and the losing and just the competition of it all. Really?
Yeah, that time that somebody won, that was amazing, right?
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah. Tell me you haven't watched Survivor without telling me you haven't watched Survivor.
Yeah. Seems like a nice enough guy, Brad.
Yeah, that guy's not pulling out butt references.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fan.
He seems very friendly. I think he's probably not grenade material at all. I feel like this guy, who's going to take this guy out first? Who's going to take this guy out really at any point?
Especially in a small tribe. I think you're really going to need him in the challenges.
I definitely want him out. It's just the energy. Like you're like, it's day one. And he's like, okay, so I formed 5 alliances and I'm the Ozzy of the tribe. Like, sir, go away. So, but yeah, I think there's grenade potential there, so I couldn't do it. But
this
Shannon,
is just so sad. Chappell and I arguing over the last 2 picks. They weren't gonna be good picks.
Tactical error to say that you're happy with the pick you got, because if you fail with this pick, now you have to own it. It wasn't just this is the one you wanted.
Taran, I didn't pick. Y'all picked. Like if I could have picked last, I would have picked like before y'all.
Yeah, you wouldn't pick Brad.
One of y'all. I wouldn't have picked Brad, and I wouldn't.
Yeah, so you basically had the second last pick because you would have picked Heather.
Because listen, and I probably would have picked Heather before some of y'all's picks, so it's okay.
There you go.
See, this is even worse now.
Heather was not last on my board either, so I'm okay with Heather. I like her a lot, so happy. Okay.
I mean, with Brad, if people in Wyoming have that much personality, it makes me want to take a trip to Wyoming to meet some people, because I had no idea. So he opened my eyes.
Holly Allen, big personality too.
That's very true.
What they say.
Yes, Holly Allen, 24, Wyoming.
I thought he was the first one from Wyoming. Wow, I was led astray.
On
Big Brother.
On Survivor.
Oh, Holly Allen. Woo. I don't perceive that person a lot of times. Y'all gotta slow down when you start talking about.
Wait, why is this not the first Holly mix-up of the preseason of this podcast? There's no Holly on the card.
Chappell probably would have been more familiar with Beth.
Right.
Yeah, Beth. Yeah. Jackson Nikki's girlfriend. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Ex-girlfriend.
There we go.
Okay.
X.
Yeah. All right, Chappell. Let's talk about your pick. Here's Heather. I don't think you did too badly here.
No, Heather seems super likable. We've seen the moms go really far into seasons of Survivor. I'm thinking Sunday. I'm thinking Dawn. Tina. She cites a couple of them in her bio. So I like that. She also is kind of outdoorsy. She's like she grew up with Bubba, and he taught her how to do outdoor stuff. And with the monster coming, maybe this is something that will benefit her in the game. She seems super rational for somebody who is so maternal. She doesn't want to link up with the other mom, so there will not be the cool mom alliance that we're looking for. Like she's probably going to go out. The mom squad. It's probably not going to happen with her, which we did see kind of with Sunday, where she's like, I don't know, or like with Chrissy Hoffbeck, Christina, Karina, whatever name, Radke can go. Yeah, she can go. So I like Heather a lot.
You've been very Katrina Radke focused on this podcast.
Well, somebody said that she wasn't athletic enough, to not be the first boot, and that was
I definitely didn't say that.
Bash the Olympian in front of all of us, but okay.
Excellent.
But yes, excellent. but yes, I think that she just comes off super likable, and that if it was me, I would want to align with someone like Heather, and then I could see her going. I don't know if she could win the game. We know that the game is not like positive in with the mom archetype winning a lot of times, but they do often go very far, and so I'm hoping that for her. And then, like, again, if this is somebody who goes far in the game, I would be very happy regardless. So,
if Brad gets grenaded and she comes second and you win, that would be pretty amazing.
Woo!
Yeah.
But yes, but why would Brad getting grenaded? It's not going to mean anything because, like, I'm still going to win regardless with my team.
I'm curious to know, did any of you have Heather considerably higher than 18th place and just had other people you liked more?
I did. I absolutely did. I love that Heather is a pickleball player. That's the first thing that stood out to me about her bio. And pickleball players are incredibly social. My mom has opened, and of course Tyson, obviously, but the world of pickleball has been opened to me through playing with her now, and they're all just so nice.
Oh,
and
I didn't
so
know you
friendly.
were playing pickleball.
What is
I mean,
pickleball?
I don't know.
What?
Wow.
Asia, are you
Shane,
familiar with
Tyson's
this?
the number one
Not at all.
influencer for it.
Cosign. What is that sport?
So what you do is you take a pickle and you use it like a ball. It's sort of like tennis, but with a pickle as the ball.
Thank you,
Okay.
Taran.
I'm
That
a
sounds
feminist
fun.
cultural.
What's actually pickleball?
If you drop the ball, if you drop the pickle, you got to eat it too. The loser has to eat the pickle.
You have to eat 200 pickles?
Beast mode.
Liana, could you
How
please
many
answer
pickles
Shannon's
are
question?
pickle?
Yeah, I don't maybe Google this after. I don't have time.
Oh, don't Google pickleball. Don't do that.
It's like tennis meets racquetball.
That's a grenade.
Yes.
Don't Google pickleball.
Tennis meets racket.
As far
Okay.
as I'm aware,
Table tennis.
pickleball
kind of.
players in Survivor are 1-for-1 in winning.
Boom.
Mhm.
Nailed it.
Who-
Thank you.
who-
Okay, I will
Taran.
Google
Yeah.
pickleball because I feel I'm no closer to understanding.
Right. I heard tennis, racquetball, table
I feel
tennis.
like I explained it perfectly. I don't know why I feel disrespected at this point.
But who is the pickleball survivor player that won?
Tyson.
Tyson plays pickleball?
Yeah, he loves pickleball.
Oh,
This is
my
me finding
God.
out that pickleball exists. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
In the
Solid
Tyson
paddles.
Yeah.
Did Tyson win
I will
Survivor
go
before he
get our
played
pickleball
pickleball?
stuff and
That
show you.
Tyson won Survivor and then picked up pickleball.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, that's
Yeah.
different. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's different.
That's different.
As
The
a winner,
game
he was
started in
drawn to the pickle.
1965.
That's
Mhm.
true.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's
There's an
review.
Olympic game status of pickleball.
You don't
It's
care
not
about
an Olympic sport.
Not
Oh,
an
yeah,
Olympic
no,
That's
you-
the
sport.
status.
Yeah, that is the status. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look at what we ended up with here in our draft tonight. Okay. So Chappell got us all started. He ends up with Ricard, Evie, and Heather. How you feeling, Chappell?
I could have done worse. So I like
Mhm.
this. I'm good with my team.
Okay.
You have a good team, dude. You really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about my two ladder picks. You know, I don't love that they could be the grenade, but I think both of them, if they can make it past that early stage, they'll be fine.
All right. Shannon, you walk away with your team of your stronger men here in the game. You feel like it's going to be a shorter game, that there's a chance for some of these guys to face the monster, beast out. You end up with Danny, Xander, and Brad.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it considering where I was in the draft, which is something I'll probably always complain about. I'm sure people love that. I feel, yeah, AU, parabolic women, US, strongmen. And that's the way that I've gone. It's not always going to work out. It's not that a strongman will definitely win, although lately in US Survivor, I feel I've increased my odds pretty well just by picking with that strategy. But I will say easily the best team, Pooya. Easily the best team for me. Shines above the rest. But I feel pretty good about where I'm at.
All right. Taran, you walk away with Erica, Sydney, and David, aka how I learned to stop worrying and love the grenades.
Hashtag Team Grenade. We're in it. I'm sorry that my team is better, and it's gonna win. That's all it is.
Team Bruno Mars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Taran, do you get that reference?
Deep cut reference.
Yes.
Mhm.
He'll catch a grenade for you.
Yes. Yes.
Obviously, That guy from Mars.
Yes, and Bruno
Come
from
on.
Big Brother Canada. Yeah,
Exactly. Bruno, he likes Mars. I get where you're going.
Veronica
Yes.
Mars, Bruno Mars. Yeah,
All right.
Taran, I see you.
Erica, Sydney, and David for Taran. All right, Pooya. All right, let's see. What's the common denominator with your team? You have Deshaun, Sarah, and Eric. Is there any connective tissue there?
Yeah, they're gonna make me go back to back, and I'm gonna be winning 2 drafts in the same calendar year, Rob. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh.
Okay.
Kai is the smartest idiot I have ever seen in my life.
I know I didn't just get soundboarded by someone who's not mathematically in the other draft, Taran.
Oh, man.
I'm assuming it's you. I don't know if maybe someone else got a soundboard now. I don't know.
I just got framed.
The Liana soundboard is a thing now. You didn't know?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then let's go back to Aysha. Aysha, you have Nasir, JD, and Jeannie. It's team 3 wishes.
Team likable. They're also likable.
Yes.
I'd go to lunch with them. I'd hang out with them. Grab a
that'd
couple
be a
drinks.
that'd be a fun lunch. Would it be more fun than when you went to lunch with Chappell and Jacob Jones?
Only a smidge more fun.
Wow.
I'm just throwing it out there to Asia's team. I'll take you to dinner. I don't think she can do better.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey,
And Liana, if you walk away the winner, we will have our first women winner of Survivor since Sarah Lacina here in the U.S. Chantel, Liana, and Tiffany.
I love my team. I am shocked that I was able to walk away with these 3 fabulous women. And I would absolutely love to be the winner. Let's go. Team HBIC. Like, we're here to slay. Let's go.
I love your team too.
I
Not
know.
gonna lie.
Okay, here's my dream scenario. Liana wins the game. Liana should win the draft, but she gets grenaded and then I win the game.
Yeah.
You have some very specific things that you want, Taran.
Can I throw
like
one
that.
other wrinkle out there and tell me if you think this is too complicated? Because
No,
like
do
it.
it.
somebody's going to get eliminated on Wednesday night with the grenade. But could there be a grenade antidote in that if you have the winner and your other person is also in the final 3, could that reverse the grenade?
Oh.
Make it
I
final
think
5.
that
Oh
should.
my God.
Give you some final 5. Your other person has to get in the final 5. And you
As
have
the
winner?
person most likely to be grenaded, me.
Yeah.
I like
I would hate to have somebody eliminated on Wednesday night.
I mean, that was the point. But I do think final 3, final 5, there's 5 people in the cast. It's such a small little cast. And I come from Australian Survivor. Like, final 3.
You might be arguing against yourself at this point, Shannon.
I've never
It's not
wanted
about me.
anything in this world more
It's about
than
the
wanting
integrity.
Shannon Gates to get grenaded on Wednesday night. I want this
Why?
so bad. 'Cause
Why?
This is about the integrity. I want you to be the one to fall victim to integrity because I'm
Chappell.
trying to survive.
Chappell.
I'm trying to survive.
We have spoken for 9 hours of the past
How
5
dare
days.
you?
Yeah.
How dare you pull that card?
I'm going to go with Shannon because of the other 6 of you on the panel, that Shannon is the one that's going to keep talking about this if we don't do what you want. Okay? So, the rest of you are going to move on after tonight.
I feel like
Stay on
I'm
me
taking it
about
the most
this.
seriously, Rob. I don't know about this.
Yeah, God
No, that's
forbid she loses because we let somebody in at the final 5, and then that's why she loses the whole thing.
Final
And
5?
so, final 3. Final
So
3.
final 3.
Final
Yeah.
3. They have to make, if both of your people make the final 3 and you have the winner, it reverses the spell of the grenade.
Okay.
Okay?
Wait,
Now
it
the
has to be
grenade is
both of them?
magic? What?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh.
Okay. It's
The
fine.
grenade
I'll take
antidote.
I'll take it.
Everybody is co-signs that. That's fair.
Yeah.
So you're
That's
not
fair.
out. Okay, that's like your one shot at Redemption Island.
What if you
So-
get 2?
And
What if you get 2 people in the final 3, but
You
not
know
the
the winner?
winner?
Yeah.
You are you ungrenaded but still not the winner? You're just not grenaded anymore.
What would be the point?
You're just sad. about this
I mean, you're not in pieces.
Is this? Do we know if this is a final 2 or a final 3?
I would presume a final 3, but I
There
don't
are
know.
26
They haven't
days.
confirmed
So-
anything.
So
The final
Yeah.
tribal council is in a week.
I don't do math. What does that mean? Is
Mhm.
it 3 or
It
2?
means that they have no time and they just going through
They
it.
might vote
The
on
only
a
reason
7. Yeah.
The only reason I asked is because if there's a final two, then is this grenade antidote like?
It would be a major upset if it was.
All
a
right.
final
If there's a final two, I will eat 200 nuggets.
Clip it. That's awesome.
And I'm a vegetarian.
David wins in a final two. 500
Vegetarian
nuggets.
nuggets. Vegetarian nuggets, which are pretty good.
200 veggie nuggets.
Nobody asked
Worse
you
than the
to
chicken
do that.
nuggets.
Clip
There's
it.
just no
Nobody
way that
asked
they'll
you to
ever
do
do
it.
that.
What
again.
is with this voluntary nugget eating?
People are like, Taran, why are you picking grenades? I'm not volunteering to eat chicken nuggets. I feel
Okay.
like I'm
Okay,
still on
what will
top
it
right
take
now.
for you to eat nuggets? What is your
Okay.
nugget line?
What's your nugget line, Taran?
My nugget line.
your nugget line.
You gotta
There
check
is no
the
nugget
macro.
line.
Check the
Mhm.
macros, Taran.
The limit
See
does
what-
not exist.
Yeah.
No, just offer nuggets.
Boy.
Yeah.
Find a
The
nugget
limit does not
line.
exist. We need a
No
sponsor.
one should be eating hundreds of nuggets.
Okay.
You all have
If I
nugget
win this
endorsement
draft,
deals?
if I win this draft and Rob buys me some chicken nuggets, I'll eat a 6-piece.
Yeah.
6 piece.
I'll buy
Yeah.
Taran a
What?
Happy Meal.
Are you a child?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna
A
take that
a
happy
mighty
meal.
kids meal?
I'm gonna be very
what are you
happy about
doing?
it. I'm gonna post a picture of me eating a Happy Meal.
You gonna have a Beyblade in there
Pooya and
too?
Shannon
Grow
eat
up,
their
Taran.
200 nuggets.
Jeez.
Taran, 50 yogurts. 50 yogurts. How about that?
That's
different
Oh.
flavors.
like
It can't
2
be
days
plain.
for me.
It
can't be
yeah,
plain.
everything except
days?
vanilla.
All right.
But wait, so back to the grenade antidote. Can we add another one?
What do you want to do?
So
you
let's
eat
say
300 nuggets, you get 100 grenade.
If you can eat 300 nuggets, you auto win the draft.
right.
Everyone
Okay.
go to your fridge, get some nuggets.
Let's
Pooya,
say
Sign me
two.
up. Okay. Look.
Let's say two people from your team go out the first 2 weeks, but then your
Ooh.
third person goes on to win.
Mm-hmm. Then so is that to
Hmm.
save you
Keeping
from the
track of
grenade?
this
Seems worse.
though.
That seems worse
Yeah.
than the normal
You
situation.
bad people.
You've done so bad. We're now going to ungrenade you. We feel bad.
No. Okay.
I-
let's-
I do think we should pick on the merge boot. I think we should pick on the merge boot. It's such
no,
an
we're making
iconic
it too
boot.
complicated. There's 3 rules. Pick the winner. Don't pick the
Don't pick-
grenade. If you pick the grenade, your other person's got to be in the final 3. You can still win. That's it.
And eat all the nuggets.
Until the sixth place finisher gets you the win, I feel like we're not complicated enough.
Right.
All right.
Look,
This
when
was
my
an
whole
incredible
tribe
draft.
is in the when my whole team is in the final 3, I just want everyone to eat chicken nuggets.
Everybody else says if you pick the final 3 straight up, then I think we all owe you some nugget eating. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll eat a couple.
All right.
Okay. All right.
A couple
Okay.
is
All
nothing.
right.
It's not a thing. It's
Let's talk
just
about
200 or do nothing.
what's coming up. Okay. Here we go.
Please,
Wednesday
thank you.
night. Guess who's back? It's Steven.
That
Fish.
feels
Clever
good.
know-it-alls coming
How
up.
many nuggets do you think Stephen Fishback would eat?
I don't know. Like just on a regular day, I don't see him being a big McDonald's guy.
It doesn't have to be
I
Nick
think
nuggets.
with
It
this
just has to be
podcast,
nuggets.
because I feel like maybe over the course of the season, at some point, can you goad Stephen Fishback into accepting a chicken nugget bet?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I suspect not. I don't see
If-
him eating a lot of nugget. I could see him maybe eating a McNugget with a knife and a fork.
It doesn't have to be a McDonald's nugget. It can just be any nugget. Chick-fil-A has
Yeah, it can
gourmet
be the
nuggets. They're
fancy
problematic.
chicken nugget. Yeah.
I'm sure he's a
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A every other day.
Well, so
Just-
yeah. So here you go, Rob. If you cannot convince Steven to do a nugget bet, any amount of nuggets.
What
like,
is this? Big Brother
No.
Canada? I have a mission
Hear me
now?
out. That would be Wendy's nuggets specifically.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, if you can't get Steven to agree to a nugget bet before the end of the season, the grenade is void.
All right, fine. But nobody say anything on Twitter. I'll try it all
No.
season.
Wait, this is
Everyone's
it.
secret. Shh.
Yeah.
This is
Don't say
it.
anything.
You should be like, Steven, we should make a bet for knowing it's nugget all. And he'll be like, did you
Yes!
say nugget all? And you'll be like, no.
What if I can convince Steven that there's like a fake sponsorship with McDonald's and that they wanted to do the knowing his nugget
It's
off?
nugget
The
all.
last
Yes.
know-it-alls, he
And
has
every
to
week.
say it.
Like, all right,
He has-
Steven, for the knowing his nugget all.
He
Yes.
has to say the phrase. He has to say the phrase. If you can't get him to do that, then the grenade is void.
But like, keep
Right.
bringing it up. Like, he would say the fishy and you'll be like, fish nuggets. Like,
Yeah.
keep like,
Filet fish? Yeah.
yeah, we can do this.
Okay. Wednesday night, 2-hour Survivor episode. Join us then. And then right after, don't go anywhere because put on your pajamas and stay up late with Taran and the co-host of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City RHAP up. It's Jacob Jones and Maggie Morgan with Taran on Wednesday night.
Back at the club, late night. It's Big Brother. We're coming to you with Jacob Jones and Maggie Morgan. It's going to be a good time. It's alliteration day.
I'm excited.
Jacob Jones, Maggie Morgan, and
Taran Armstrong, the classic.
Taran Armstrong.
I shorten it usually just to make it easier.
Aaron Armstrong is what?
Aaron Armstrong. Aaron Armstrong.
Aaron.
That would be ridiculous. Nobody would believe Aaron Armstrong. Come on.
Right. No.
All right. Saturday night, Nicole Cesternino and I got together for the Survivor 41 cast preview. Hey, you just listened to 2 hours of a draft. Keep it going and check out what Nicole Cesternino had to say about these 18 new contestants, plus our winner picks and much more. And then just let it run. Bryce Isaiah will tell you what he thinks about the 18 new castaways on Issa Look. We did that on video as well. You could watch along and see what Bryce is seeing as we go through it all on the Issa Look. And then the Survivor B&B have their Survivor preview. Liana, give us some highlights from what did you and Mike do?
Oh my God. Got off topic frequently. We definitely gave out superlatives. We talked about the casuals corner. The Survivor fans, Facebook fans have some opinions about Jeff's hair. So that was really fun.
Yes. Can you give us a tease? Are they pro or con?
Well, I just want to say maybe someone might have said that Jeff's looking like a juicy burrito bowl. So
Was it you? Did you say it?
look, I am not going to spoil it, not going to spoil it.
Yeah. I don't think I like my burrito bowls juicy.
Shit. You ain't had
You
that
like them
burrito
dry?
bowl, baby.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it like soaking wet.
Well, no one's a soggy burrito bowl.
I
What are we
mean,
doing? What are
we
we?
can discuss it.
All right.
Where are we?
All right. Why Blank Lost has a Survivor 41 preview as well. Check out what David and Jessica had to say about the 18 new players from Survivor. Did they talk about McNugget bets?
I'm
I
sure.
bet you they didn't.
Yeah.
I'll bet you 200 nuggets they didn't.
All right. Then this past Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, myself, Chappell, and Shannon Guss broke the all-time Rob is a podcast record talking about Survivor heroes versus villains, and in a podcast that did justice to both the top 40 countdown and the greatest season of all time, Survivor heroes versus villains.
Yeah.
Rob,
I mean, it's the longest conversation I've had in my life.
Mhm.
Isn't that weird that it was with you guys?
I wish I
There
could
you
tell
go.
that lie.
Um,
I'm a talker.
all at one time.
Nope.
You had-
I wish I could tell that lie.
Mhm.
Chappelle
well-
talks too much.
It was important to me.
He's probably been training for that moment all his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
That
missed
part.
any of the top 40 countdown, everybody here on the panel participated along the way. You can see them all at robiswebsite.com/rankings. Keep that page up anytime you watch a season. Be sure to check out what we had to say if you missed anything along the way. Sandra Diaz-Twine joined T-Bird and me, and we had a great conclusion to the Talking with T-Bird season, Chappell.
Yeah.
T-Bird did not get fired.
No, you said it was
Contrary
the
to
you said
the
it
rumors
was-
you're spreading.
you said it was a series finale.
I did
and
not.
You did. You
I
read the
did not.
tweet on the Talking with T-Bird. T-Bird saw series finale. You fired me. You fired Akiva. You fired T-Bird. You fired Hannah. What is wrong with you? You're a monster. Why are you cleaning house? What did we do?
Yeah. The series was the top 40 countdown.
Oh, was it?
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
looked like the series finale of Talking with T-Bird. T-Bird and I were disgusted. I'm glad that you have you have made up for your wrongs here. I think.
Yes.
We'll see.
All right, we'll see. Sandra, great interview on Talking with T-Bird. Then we also have The Circle. We had a lot of fun this Saturday where it was myself, Taran, Kirsten, Jenny, and Geneva talking about week 2 of The Circle season 3. Taran, any highlights from yesterday?
The circle's great. I you know, there were a lot of daddy comments being made. There were a lot of you know, band comments being made. We finally moved past kissing your dog on the mouth. I feel like you know, we've made progress.
Making a lot of progress. Okay, check out our recap of The Circle season 2 with another recap coming up next weekend. Then, with the stock watch, this is going to be this Tuesday night.
Yes, we're gonna rate these players. We're down to the final 4.
Yes. Okay.
And, things are getting tricky.
Aysha, are you ready that you'll be joining Taran and Melissa?
You know, I just felt like my soul left my body after that double eviction last week. So if it were not for the round table, I would have completely disassociated myself with this season until finale night. So thanks to the round table, I'm casually keeping up.
Okay.
She does this for you, audience.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Sacrifices are being made.
All right. And big congratulations to Melissa this weekend on her wedding. And she'll be back to talk about it on the round table coming up on Tuesday. And
That is
then
I am
amazing
gonna
that
ask
she's
her to rate the
podcasting
wedding.
2 days
Yeah.
after.
Right.
Like she got married like yesterday and she's coming on a podcast in 2 days. That is extreme commitment.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Shannon, speaking of extreme commitment, let's
Yes.
talk about you.
Yeah.
The finale of Australian Survivor Season 6, you brought in a man that David Voce based his game on, Nick Iadanza.
Don't you forget it. Yeah, and Mike and Nick, and we had a fun time. There was a song. There was talk about torture. We had a debate. Do you sit down in the shower? Let's get the panel's takes. Who sits down in the shower?
Like on the floor? Or do you
Oh, so
Right.
no one does that?
On
What?
No.
Do you guys have bathtubs in your apartments and houses?
Yes.
Normally,
Yeah, but
You
it's
all have a bathtub. Okay, I don't
Yeah.
have a bathtub, so I sit in the
Mm.
shower sometimes when I get tired. All right, good to know no one else
I
does
feel
that.
like I'd be more likely to sit in a bathtub.
I don't have a bathtub.
But you don't have to sit in the shower. If
Oh,
you
you're
don't
saying
want
you're like taking a pseudo bath in like the shower stall?
to. Water.
What? I
You
just
just,
want
like,
to be
lay in a
warm and
puddle?
sitting down.
Could you try a blanket?
No one
Like,
here,
clothes?
because Nick said he does it.
Well,
You might
Shannon,
I heard-
message Jacob
Yeah.
Jones. I bet he does it.
maybe it's cultural.
He's a good
All right,
shot. He's a solid
Find out
shot.
more
Okay,
about
this is making
on
me
the,
feel-
Australian Survivor wrap.
I'm glad I
Sorry.
didn't do the Twitter poll now after how this went.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad you didn't either.
Yes. Okay. They did have some shower furniture in Big Brother a couple of seasons ago, Shannon.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Beth!
we got to about
Beth,
it.
I remember her.
Yes.
Well, that's what you remember.
Mm.
All right. Asia, what's coming up on Married at First Sight this weekend?
Yeah, so Amy and I talked about episode 9. If you've never seen this show, Married at First Sight is about 5 couples meeting at the altar, getting married, and being married for 8 weeks, and then they decide if they want to stay married or get divorced. This week we talked about some goat yoga. One of the couples did goat yoga, and there was a recommendation that Chappell and Jacob Jones and I should go do some goat yoga. So potential RHAP Grams takeover idea. Just saying.
All right.
So yeah.
Having some goat yoga might be the cure to the grenade in this season.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll see.
I like that idea.
Right goat on your team. Okay. Pooya and Liana are back for the Masked Singer 6 season preview podcast. Pooya, what's going on over on the Masked Singer?
It's a lot of fun. We went through all, how many? 14 costumes. We went through all the costumes, went through all the first clues. The draft champion of the Masked Singer world is Liana over there. So she's over there. She's amazing. So she set the draft order, and then we drafted all of the costumes as well. And then we also talked about Holy Moly, which Liana loved.
Okay.
There's some nightmare fuel costumes. Very exciting.
All right. And then Pooya, then 90 Day Fiance the other way, airing right now. You and Brian Scally got together.
We did. We got together. We talked all about last week's episode. And then at the very end of the podcast, I talked about the new season of 90 Day Bears All, which was something that just got, showed up out of nowhere. So I talked about that as well. And then this week, I'll be talking with this man up there in the second square about 90 Day Fiance episode 4. It's Chappell. He'll be joining me.
Yes,
All right.
I'm excited.
Looking forward to that one. And then what else do we got?
Not the
Oh,
regular
let's see. Lego Master.
Yes.
Liana?
Yeah, so my sister and I actually recorded together in person to talk about the finale of Lego Masters. Also got off on a few random tangents. Like how long? Okay, when a baby's born, you say its length, but when do you talk about like how tall? Like you don't say how tall my baby is because babies don't stand. Anyway, it's very like Shannon sitting in the shower kind of discussion. So we get into that into Lego Masters as well.
That's a
very
genre.
I mean,
exciting.
completely
Yeah.
unheard of discussion. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And then, of course, we didn't even hear about RHAP that's coming up later
Is it?
on tonight. Rob and Akiva are previously hung. Be sure to join us for that one. Should be a lot of fun. Of course, so much going on in our patron podcast feed as well. Patron 5 for 5, the BB Q&A that Taran and I did on Friday. We'll have the slop with Mike Bloom. And then every week during the Survivor season, we'll be doing a Survivor Q&A. Thinking about Monday night for Survivor Q&A. I think that might be fun, sort of like the end of one week, sort of like the next episode is sort of on the horizon. So if you want to join in and call in the shows and listen to all of the extra content that we have for you in our Patreon podcast feed, plus get early access to some of our Survivor podcasts along the way, and of course, become a part of our amazing patron community, Facebook, and Discord, head on over to robhasawebsite.com/patron for that. Then, of course, for anything from our sponsors, head on over to robhasawebsite.com/offers. Hit subscribe to make sure you never miss any of our YouTube videos, or subscribe to our podcast wherever you get podcasts. And of course, follow us on social media at Rob as a Podcast on Twitter, at RHAP Grams on Instagram, and the Rob as a Podcast TikTok is a lot of fun right now. We are working very hard to bring you some great TikToks over at Rob as a Podcast on TikTok. All right. We've got a lot of plugs here tonight. Let's go to the panel now to bring it home. All right. Let's start with Liana. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Liana RHAP. Everything that I'm podcasting about, we just discussed. So very, very excited for all of that. And with Survivor 41 coming up, my team is amazing. Couldn't be happier.
Yes. Liana, so wonderful to get to draft with you here tonight. And good luck to your team.
Thank you. Yes.
And Survivor
like
Liana.
and Survivor. Yes, both. It's all encompassing. When you talk about Liana, I'm going to also assume like we are simpatico, the same.
We are the city.
We
That's
are
right.
the city.
Yes.
Indeed.
All right. Asia, where can people keep up with you?
Yeah, you could follow me on Twitter at Asia like Asia, so AYSHA like ASIA, to catch all of my Married at First Sight coverage, the remainder, Big Brother 23. And then, yeah, I'm so excited for my team. I think they're a strong team, and I can't wait to root for them. And I do have a little TikTok pitch. I think that we should, similar to the takeovers on Instagram, I think on TikTok, you should pick a podcaster and then pick a dance trend that they should learn the dance routine, do it, and then we post that. I mean, how amazing would that be?
All right, Taran's
Liana's
up first.
down.
Yeah.
Terrence
I'm
first.
down.
Yes.
I'm down.
Okay.
It wouldn't be fair to put me first. It would ruin it for everyone else.
Sure.
We would like to see it.
Dance move, Taran?
Do I have a signature? Rob, we've already discussed this. I have too many signature dance moves to say I have a signature dance move.
She leaves the robot.
Have you watched any
Yeah.
Big Brother podcasts? I mean, come on.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Asia, I think that's a great idea. All
I'm
right,
so
now.
excited.
Pooya, what's going on for you? Where can people keep up with you?
They can find me on Twitter at Pooyaism. They can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pooya. I do stream there 2 to 3 times a week. Trying to amp that up once Big Brother is now over. And besides that, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the season of Survivor coming back after this long hiatus, so that'll be great. And now with Masked Singer coming back, The Circle's still here, 90 Day is here. It's a busy time to be me, but it's a very blessed time to be me. So I'm very happy with everything going on.
Okay, Pooya, good luck to your team, and hopefully that we don't look back at this night as the beginning of the end for you.
How many
We're
nuggets did
fine.
you wrestle hands to yourself tonight?
we're fine. We're fine. Draft is fine. The Nuggets are not happening. We're good. Everything's great. Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All right. Pooya, great job tonight. Good luck to Xavier in the BB draft.
I'm like, I have 2 out of 3. I know one of them is a bleak one anyway, but like, I have 2 out of the 3 remaining people. I'm looking decent. So
1 out of 2.
I know, but like, let's say 66 instead of 50. It sounds nicer.
Okay. All right. Then Shannon, where can people keep up with you?
Thank you for having me on this draft / accidental nugget eating competition that I apparently signed up for. No, you can find me at Shannon Gates on Twitter and Instagram. A lot going on as well. I feel like everything's kind of happening at the moment. But yeah, Australian Survivor just ended. Recap of that is up, as we said. And deep dives have started. And Survivor South Africa ended. I'll be recapping that tonight with Mike. And then deep dives will happen for that. And then US Survivor is starting, as we know. And Survivor Global will be back, I think, every week, with international guests breaking down the episodes, giving out chizzy points, just the usual fare, but for the US. So hope you guys check that out.
Okay. Shannon, great job tonight. Would not have been the same without you tonight.
Why do you say that like that? It makes it sound like it would be better.
You brought the most heat, I think.
I got to get fired up. I wake up an hour before this.
You take it way more seriously than anybody else.
Do I? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. I said to someone else the other day, like we were talking about games nights and doing games night. And I'm like, yeah, my husband's competitive, but he's not as competitive as me. And I wasn't even thinking and he's like, do you understand what you just said? Like, do you understand how competitive that sentence was? So you should stop inviting me on this stuff, Rob. Like, I make it unpleasant.
No. It was a lot of fun tonight.
No, Shannon, I love your passion. And I'm so glad to finally get a chance to podcast with you and Liana.
Yes. What a fun time to finally get together on this.
Right.
Taran, where can people keep up with you?
Find me here on Rob as a Podcast. I've got Survivor podcast coming up. I'm very grateful that I had a chance to jump on this grenade for you guys. But I will be talking through the episodes every week, and I bring to it the level of detail that I try to bring to Big Brother. It's a different kind of show. It's a different kind of detail, but we bring it. And this season, I'm going to be trying something a little new. I have the stock watch in Survivor. We rate the players based on how well they're doing. We're going to try and do that here in Survivor as well when we only have an edit to go off of, and we'll see how that goes. So check out that podcast once the season starts. And you can also find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong, hanging out. I do something else, which is that I watch the episodes live on Twitch with you guys so that we can sort of like have a whole community chatting about it and reacting to it live as it happens. So you can find me there, twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong, during the premiere of Survivor, and we'll watch it together.
All right, Taran, great job tonight, and looking forward to the Survivor stock watch.
There we go.
Okay, and when you get the Happy Meal, then I'm very excited about that also.
Me too. I'm very excited about the Happy Meal.
Hero.
Chappell, where can people keep up with you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter, I guess, at Chappell's_show, and on Instagram at ChappellTNT, where I am just posting about the podcasting. But on Twitter, I'm more, just being myself, talking to people, having a good time. Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for the.
You referenced earlier that the longest conversation you ever had, that is just the amount of time you've been on Twitter until now.
If that's the case, then I've talked way, way too much in my lifetime. So I probably could hang it up at this point and never speak again, honestly. But on Twitter, I'm just having a good time. So if you want to follow me on Twitter at Chappell's_show, say hi. Don't be rude. I'll block you. You can also find me on Silent Podcast with Sasha Joseph, talking about Never Have I Ever on Netflix. We took a brief hiatus. I went on vacation. There was some holidays going on, and one of our future guests just got married. So we're going to try to get that scheduled and get these next episodes out for you very quickly. Aside from that, just hanging out, waiting on, Rob to tell me if I still have a job. We'll see.
We got something coming up.
Well, let's talk about it.
All right. Chappell, great job tonight, and good luck to you as well in
my job search.
Yes. Okay. If you need a reference, let me know. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining us here for our live draft. This was a lot of fun here tonight. Enjoy the rest of the preseason coverage, and we'll see you Wednesday night live after the episode with the Know-It-Alls. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.